as I start recording. So, with your huntsman's test completed, you and the rest of your party, sans Neril, have joined the Hunter's Keep, a guild of famous monster hunters who harvest rare creature components for grand profits. You all met with Rathgar Whitefang, the lycanthrope leader of the keep, and learned of its history, journeying to its inner sanctum, where you saw a number of trophies from a number of powerful otherworldly foes gathered over the years. You also learned that the keep is home to numerous inner circles of orders. The oldest, the Order of the Lycan, reveres the wild spirits, mysterious spiritual entities representing abstract concepts such as wrath, bravery, leadership, knowledge, guile, and secrets. They also represent the hunt, the wild and the wilderness, and balance above all. You also learned of the other orders, such as the loose alliance between the Keep and the Deathwalkers, and the Order of the Mutant, and the Order of the Profane Soul. Each of these groups take on darker powers to use them in protecting the innocent and those who cannot fight for themselves, as well as taking down existential threats, sort of Avengers on a milder scale, if you will. He also told you of the Vampiric Order, an order that was subverted from within by thralls of an ancient vampire lord, Elizabeth von Dragul. All heard about previously, all of which had possessed Rain, a blood hunter of the Vampiric Order, one of your previous party members. The subversion of the keep from within this order caused many years of bloody infighting, resulting in their expulsion and exile from the keep. Regardless, those of you who joined received the Mark of the Hunt, and you were given access to their numerous facilities, training rooms, tanneries, workshops, alchemy labs, and free room and board. Worked on refining the extra components you harvested from Crothis, and lumped a lot of work onto one Hodrig Ashbrick, the owner of Hyde and Hodrig, the tannery, in the form of a dragon wing cloak and a white dragon scale mail. Neril, researching at the Sapphire Archives, discovered information of the primordial dragons, 4 great dragon-like elemental creatures who existed during the primeval time, an epoch near the beginning of the world where elemental titans and vast nightmare empires fought for dominance. She then discovered rumours of a 5th primordial dragon. Elsewhere, Varish Rasmund, your sponsor and boss, visited all of you late in the evening to speak with Vellum about his concerns regarding death during the coming trial of steel. And an agreement was made that if she were to resurrect any of you, you would owe her a favour you would not refuse. She also gave information on the nature of the up-and-coming Trial of Steel, a gauntlet where each of the now 8 teams competing would face off against captured monsters of increasing challenge and ferocity. The only breaks you would receive during which would be other fights, till you are called upon again. And each break between rounds would get shorter and shorter as more and more teams are eliminated from the tournament. With this in mind, Varish left you and told you all to prepare, as you now have a week to do so. You all head to bed. Neril returns near midnight/early morning, thoroughly exhausted from the extensive researching. Neril, what do you do? I make sure you're all in Sirenscape as well, please.
Well, seeing as how late it is, Neil is probably gonna go to her and Sal's room and just go
Crash.
sleep.
Okay. So, you all come to rest for the evening, and as a new day dawns, if I can get the macro working. Unless the API is broken.
The fancy dating.
A new day dawns. Will come to consciousness, and a new. There we go. Okay. So, come the 22nd of Furbas on Throstmere, you will come to consciousness. What do you do?
For starters, Sal will notice that, oh hey, someone else has come to bed to sleep.
Oh, sorry about that. I'm just kidding.
Hmm.
I'm just kidding.
Sal will just take a moment to just fucking cuddle the poor thing.
So warm.
And I'll leave it up to somebody else to take over now.
You're just gonna stay in bed for the whole day?
You're chomping at the bit.
Not for the whole day,
Nice.
but she's tired, so.
Well,
Anybody else?
I guess I'll get up and start my morning routine. You know, nannies flock to me. Get dressed comfortably. You know. Maybe start ordering breakfast for the group.
Okay. You head up to the to the main bar, kind of bring down various assortment of breakfast meals, rashers of bacon, what looks like some sort of breakfast breads, and you sort it on the table. And then nannies also help you. Calissa kind of wipes a smudge of dirt off your cheek.
So sweet. Now, breakfast is ready. Hey! Wake the fuck up, it's already like 7 in the morning.
You all hear thunk 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 against your bedroom doors.
Sal will pick up Nero in a sort of arm carry and just casually, more or less, stroll out with her in her arms and, prepare to eat breakfast as brutishly as Balthasar fucking knocked on the door.
5 more minutes. I don't want to go slay the dragon yet.
That's too fucking adorable.
What?
A slight stare.
Nero's half awake, by the way.
Oh yeah, Vilm's gotta have his 30 minutes, I forgot about that.
Yeah.
A vital part of his morning routine, you know?
Very vital.
Yeah, would not be too good without it.
Yeah. Ruka's probably gonna get up and just be ready because he sleeps in his, clothes.
I mean, the perks of being a barbarian. You can
Yeah.
sleep in your armor.
Yeah, because you have them.
Yeah. Yeah, he's just gonna get up, maybe do some stretches, make sure to feed Webby.
Revy
Stuff like
happily chows down on a bit of a bacon ration. As you also scarf down a hefty sized meal.
Yeah.
What's Siren doing?
Siren is basically going to be not waking up at 7. But after sometime she's gonna come down in just like her new outfit and whatnot. And is everyone, I guess, let's see, Vellum. Yeah, Vellum and Greco wouldn't necessarily matter for this. She's going to kind of sit down at the table with everybody else and sorry, straight. And she is going to look at Balthazar, Neril, and Sao and place 2 small objects on the table. Those who may know or recognize, since she's had them, would recognize her Pearl of Power and her Ion Stone. And she just kind of looks at the 3 people who can actually cast spells. So, I have recently come into new magical items, and I would like to offer these to the rest of you before, if they're not needed, I go to sell them.
Sao looks at the Ion Stone with both brows raised.
What kind of stone is it?
It's an Ion Stone, based off of some long-forgotten being of some sort, but it basically, you've seen it, it's the thing that floats between my horns that gives me some extra mana of protection.
Oh.
And of course the Pearl of Power.
This is interesting.
I think
Do you know what it does?
the Ion Stone or the Pearl of Power?
Yes.
Yes.
The Ion Stone, mechanically speaking, gives you an extra 1 to your AC, and the Pearl of Power, you can use it, I think, as a action. I think it's an action or a bonus action. I actually think it's an action. And as an action, you can. Let me go back to it. I had it ready. Use an action to speak the Pearl's command word and regain 1 expended spell slot of up to 3rd level. And then once you do it, you can't use it again until the next dawn. And she's going to look at Neril and Balthazar specifically. Neril, know that you'd like to set things on fire, and Balthazar, I know you have quite a limited number of spells you can cast as is. I think the Pearl itself would offer quite a lot of benefit to either of you. And for the Iron Stone, it gives, again, it affords you an extra mana of protection. Makes you a little bit harder to hit, makes the hits not quite as deadly. Yes, it's an Iron Stone of protection.
Little Nero, how about you take the pearl? I don't believe you have any magical gifts yet.
I have none.
No? Well, how about you take this pearl? I do not know if something to give you magical protection would be best spent on a backliner. Maybe something better suited towards avoiding explosions or things enemies might throw at you, but definitely you having do you think you could maybe store a fireball in one of these?
I can do that, and I was actually kind of thinking the same thing. So Neil will reach out a small, scaly hand and just pick up the Pearl of Power.
Doink.
And again, it isn't necessarily a spell you focus, just the potential for a spell. So just, if you wish to cast something aside from Fireball, you may. It just allows you to regain, and mechanically speaking, action, and you can regain a first, second, or third spell slot as an action.
So, basically any of my spells except for my highest level one got it.
Yeah. And it has to be one that is expended. So you can't just be like, I get an extra spell slot off the top. Like, you have to have actually used it.
Mm,
It's a recovery, not a
Not an
bonus.
not an
extension.
additional.
Yeah.
It's yeah.
Recovery, not extension.
It's like a free use of your spell points, right?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Sorcerer points. Awesome.
And actually, now that I think about it, that is good for a sorcerer because you can convert spell slots into sorcery points.
Yep.
Yeah. Which
Like I
means
said, I
you
was
should be
eyeballing
able
that
to get.
spell power.
Well, what do you get? You get 4?
Yes,
Sorcery points?
level
Sorcerer
level
level?
worth and sorcery points.
Oh, level worth. I thought it was like level worth +1 or something. Sorry. I'm getting Pathfinder confused with something, I think.
Good old Pathfinder.
Really
Something like
complex. A lot of fun.
And so she looks at the Ironstone, and this, I mean, to be fair, I feel would best benefit Balthazar, but I don't know. Do you have... How many items have you attuned to, brother?
Actually attuned. Most things I have do not. Let me double check for a moment. Let me pull up my sheet. I have that listed.
As Balsar just in universe pulls out a sheet of paper. Let's see.
Just like with check marks and boxes.
Yeah, it's cheat sheet.
Uh-huh.
They're very organized.
I've been working on this,
Mm-hmm.
Let me see. That which is actually attuned. This ring, as he holds up the ring of mind shielding, is the only thing I have that I'm actually attuned to. So I
Well.
think I could hold two more.
Then perhaps the Ironstone would be good for you.
If I'm going to be a front, with my shield in front of you and between the enemies, it would be very nice. Plus, I do not know how many others want to make use of an item that makes you harder to hit, as it then gives you an obligation to be on the front.
Well, aside from you and Kronka, we don't really have anyone that can take hits like that.
Well, this
Kronka...
Valen.
So we don't have anyone else that can take hits like that. And Kronka seems to be able to withstand a lot more just brutality. And whereas you with your fancy armor...
What?
I've seen swords that would cut a man's arm in half, barely nick you. You have some amazing capacity to just not die.
Tell me you are just actually made out of rocks like I think you are.
I would not be surprised.
No. No.
It's a question mark in that, no?
Very sure.
Grogu's eyes kind of shift to
yeah.
from one side to another.
That's it. Some have made a suggestion that I should take this stone. Does anyone have objections? Does anyone wish to take it themselves?
No,
Let us discuss.
The stone should be yours. Granted, you already wear a set of rather expensive looking plate. But I do agree. In terms of protection, Drunken here can just struck off a fucking Rambo if needs be.
Yeah. You can't. You won't wear the gold armor in the fight, right?
Yeah.
It would seem no.
Yeah.
Something about wearing the armor of a disgraced king in front of their current king seems like a bad idea.
You don't say.
I mean, it also, I would imagine, depends on how you spin it. If you defeated him when he came back to life to destroy the world, I feel like it's quite a wondrous battle trophy.
I mean,
Truly it is.
isn't that still technically the truth?
Mm-hmm.
It is, yes. That is why I'm trying to have a meeting with the king. We turn Nagdor's skull, tell him how we've destroyed an attempted uprising, you know. But maybe I could wear it. But I have a feeling I would either have to oversell heroics or play myself as a villain, which theatrically would be fine, but beyond that, eh.
Hmm.
Well, I mean, both seem quite up your alley.
It's not wrong.
Though, in this case, if you would allow my own opinion to be said freely,
Of course, we're
Don't
allies.
waste the
Discuss among us.
don't wear the armor for the fight. You're literally displaying to all of the people that, oh look, here's a very bad omen from the past, and I'm wearing it like a fucking trophy.
Yeah, and with the trouble that the town has been having with deep dwarves, that may not go over very well.
You know, I was thinking of that. The mixture of the Deep Dwarf uprising, which I think I heard was still loyal to his ancient kingdom, Nagnor, and combined with the fact that it was incredibly illegal just to have the coins with his face on it. I can't imagine what the armor would be.
Also,
Wait, it's illegal to have the coin with his face on? Din?
Yes.
Hmm.
You know how I got the coins from you. I had to go through a black market to do that.
also,
Luckily, none of us handed those out to anyone.
What was that,
Yeah.
Gronka?
Grunk is gonna take out his charlatan die, the amulet of health, and the wild man's spinning cleaver, and basically be like, I am also full.
That is
Right.
fair.
Grunka
That
rolls
is
the
such
dice.
a nice axe, Grunka.
Yeah.
I don't know why, but it looks very well balanced in your hand. It seems like it really suits you.
As far as I'm just double checking. Looks the charlatan's die itself doesn't require attunement.
Yeah, it does.
Charlatan's died.
Yeah, it does.
Wait,
It does. It's basically I guess to stop you to have like 3 of them at once, or just
Oh,
have an
it
infinite
originally
amount.
required attunement, but it must have changed.
Yeah, I changed that. 'Cause, I mean, it's such like a minor
Okay.
minor thing, minor
Yeah, okay.
item.
I guess it's just so that you can't have like an entire dice set of charlatan dice.
Yeah, that depends entirely
you
on whether
know,
or not I'm going to
Balthazar.
actually give you another set.
Yeah, I guess. Yeah. So okay, never mind that. But he's then gonna say that, and with the cloak later, the worm cloak, probably need to spend some brain power on it.
Oh no, in the recap I said it was dragon scale. It wasn't dragon scale. My bad. It was the worm cloak.
Yeah, from the worm skin.
Yeah, that was it.
Well, yeah, Grunk is gonna take the axe and just kind of toss it up in the air, kind of juggling it a bit. Yeah.
Oddly enough, when you kind of throw it up in the air, it seems to return back to your hand with a bit more force than it would through sheer gravity.
Oh.
Almost as if it's kind of sort of magnetized to your hand now.
Yeah. I mean, I guess Grunka would know how it works because he's attuned to it, right?
Yeah.
That's how it works.
Yeah, once you are tuned, you figure out.
Yeah. So, so if I threw the axe, could I choose when it returned? Like, if I threw it again towards a wall, and before it hit the wall, I take it back, or how does it work? Does it have to travel its entire distance, or until it hits something?
It
Well,
would.
in the description it does say it immediately returns after you make the attack.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I'm assuming as soon as it hits the target, it comes back.
Yeah. So I can't like tell it to just come back mid air, basically.
Yeah. It needs to either hit or miss with an attack before it can turn.
Yeah.
Hit
okay.
or miss. I guess they never
God
missed,
fucking
huh?
damn it! I knew it was coming.
Ah!
Damn it, Ducky.
You were asking for it the
Yeah.
moment you said it.
The moment those words left my lips, I was like, "Oh
Bullshit,
no!
You know it.
Oh no!"
Finally.
Yeah. I mean, it
Anyway.
is +7 hits, so I guess it will hit a lot.
I mean,
Yeah, it's a +2 magic weapon, so yes.
Pretty epic.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I have a character not here with a +14 to hit, but you know,
Well, I mean, we're also level 7.
yeah, I do a lot of broken shit either way.
Yeah.
Back to the table.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Got to table.
Okay, so
So you take the shiny pebble thingy.
very well. And this is later in the evening when Siren woke up, so I believe Vellum is here.
Mm.
Right?
Probably.
Stable.
Well,
Is Vellum here?
Well, he's also muted, so
Yeah, he's been
I think
muted and
he's
quiet.
eating.
fuck.
Also, Sao will give a look to Balthazar as he takes the stone. You know,
Mm-hmm.
when you're not wearing your full plate, I think the stone will suit you both as a sense of style, but also for your ankle.
You know, you're right. But as he grabs it and starts to drag it over, he will hold it up and sort of waggle it at Vellum a little bit. Do you have no objections on this? I know it's not something you made, but I thought
I hope you
would
haven't been
ask.
talking to me in character this entire time because I had to go get my food and I said BRB.
I thought you said back.
Just talk
Yeah.
to you.
he
Just
did say
talk to-
back.
Sorry, back from the beginning again, Atlas.
Were you aware that we got an Ion Stone?
I heard that in the background. As to the
Ion
current,
Stone gives +1 to AC.
oh, yeah,
Targeting
I heard
the
that
outside.
spiel in the background. It's this current thing that I didn't.
He just grabbed it and he's pulling it towards himself, holds it up to Vellum, and he says, I know it's not something you made yourself, but, were you interested in this? Because everyone seems like, hey, Balthazar, you want this, but he wants to double check because the only other person other than you, Grunka, said go for it, and you're the only person left that could get any use out of it as a melee board.
Is it a different kind of one than the one that restores spell slots, or is that different?
There's a Pearl of
I have
Power,
the
which
Pearl of
goes to
Power.
You got the
Nero,
Pearl of Power, yeah.
and then
This is an
that
Ion
gives spell
Stone.
slots. This is an Ion Stone that increases AC by 1.
Right. Anyway,
I mean, it
back
is
here.
a tuned thing.
Well, magic stuff like that, I'm fine with, I suppose. I can't really make those, so seems silly not to. But you're up in front a lot more than I am.
Can you make magical swords too? Do you turn that one down?
That was the point I was making, Simon, that I can't, and thus it would be silly. Either way, it's a better fit for you, I think.
Very well. With that, he'll take it and he'll just start holding it in a hand while they continue to talk. I appreciate the gift, Siren.
Of course.
By the way, nice new outfit.
Oh, do you like it?
I did
It is
wonder
nice.
when you actually got that.
Oh, I killed a vampire for it.
What?
Okay,
That is impressive. I want to hear this story.
do tell.
Oh, it was just challenge. Y'all went after Kill a Dragon. I killed a vampire, destabilized an entire cult, and learned some secret dark magic. Don't worry about it.
Just another Sundays, yes.
No, the as it turned out, the contract that I was taken off and away from the group for happened to the creature in question happened to be part of a ritual that involved the Awakened. And as you know, the Awakened tend to be a lot more congenial with the undead. As it turns out, the leader of this small little cult occurrence happened to be a vampire. And with some help from some others, we managed to kill her, take some quite valuable magic items away from her, and she's going to, at that, kind of trace her fingers over very intricate lace, like metal lace that she has around her neck, with a big old like glowing soulstone ruby in the center. And she's also going to, in case anyone hasn't noticed, which I don't think anyone has because I've never actually said it, she's wearing a cloak that seems to be made from kind of living shadow. And yeah, she just kind of motions to that as well.
You all
That
look
makes my
over.
boner the magic boner.
As you all look over the kind of cloak that she's wearing, it looks like it appears like looking into a void of pure shadow. It's like the blackest black material you have ever seen, and
Phantom Black.
Panther black, yes. And you swear out of the corner of many of your eyes, you see like this faint waft of shadow kind of billow off of it. Not like a huge plume, but it's just faint waft,
Little wisps.
little wisp.
What does that do?
It
As
makes
Nero
me,
points to the cloak.
it makes me even harder to kill. And
Oh.
makes me a little bit better in shadows.
Well, as long as you don't accidentally turn into a shadowy monster, then we're fine. Unless you're pouncing
wouldn't
on
wanna be-
somebody.
No, I wouldn't worry about becoming shadowy.
That would not happen. She's already a monster.
Yes,
Sarah
I'm
gives
well aware
a
you're demon.
small appreciative nod to Balthazar.
But we
didn't
don't
know
want to
you're
stay on the scale
demons
of
and
that
such.
undead dragon thingy you summoned.
He's just gonna lean in a little bit. That brings me to a point. Did we ever actually solidify whether or not everybody could understand everything? Like, because other than it getting up, I don't think anyone was able to see me heal it or talk to it. I just want to kind of get the story straight there before I do any roleplay.
None of you saw Balthazar do his little ritual to steal the mind of Crothis, and none of you could make out any words that the remains of Crothis were talking about, except the words kingdom and army.
I believe it was the case, if I remember from the discussion, that this could probably glean an intent, but
Yeah.
not specifics.
Oh, okay. Oh,
So is Nero sticking with saying that then?
1 second.
No issue. It's just because I don't know how much knowledge we properly you know,
Knowledge.
had.
It would just only depend on if Neil knows Balsaz's goal.
With that, no, he hasn't shared anything about that spooky shit.
So no king. So she doesn't know he wants a kingdom and that stuff. Got it.
Yep.
Okay.
Not that he's done anything with the patron. Oh, that's spooky shit.
So
Yeah,
then she would probably have.
spooky.
So it would actually be something more along the lines of she would be asking Balsa what happened with that whole undead dragon thing, seeing as he was there the entire time.
What did she ask? How did she ask it?
So, speaking of these vampire stuff and undead things, did anything happen to the corpse while you were by yourself with it? You know, before it all got up and flew off?
Ah, well. Let's see. We plummeted to the ground, hundreds of feet in the air.
Oh yeah, I
Thank
saw it.
you, by the way, Sayun. I'm so glad to know you cared about me falling that far.
I mean,
We hit the ground. The beast was nearly dead, but not quite. It would not, how should I say, change its goals. It then promptly perished. Not but moments after we were joined by Liska and the unconscious Vellum.
Oh yeah. He
could have
was.
been could possibly have been an after effect of the ley lines, I guess.
Or some
It
weird
could be many
primordial.
things.
Yeah, or some weird primordial dragon thing.
It does
Who
worry me a
knows?
bit.
Well, I have a good feeling about it, and that we will not have to worry about him for a long time. Longer than any of you will probably be alive. So, it's not our problem.
And yet I have a feeling it sort of is, but call me hesitant, it's just
Well,
we were commissioned to basically kill him, and now it sort of roams free.
what are you talking about? That doesn't look like Crothis. We have Crothis' head and his body parts.
I mean, yes, but another dragon so close to an area where one already lived and was brought down dead might raise a few questions, or at least have people raise a brow when talking about it. Again, I am
I'm
being
just saying, how could we have failed when I brought back its head?
You could have had we could have had someone commission it. Just like use bone and shape into the size of a dragon head.
Balthazar.
You
I'd like to remind you, we fought a undead kraken made of dead cultists.
Not quite a kraken, but yes, you do not have to remind me, lest I have to remind you that I was the one that jumped into its mouth and dealt the killing blow.
You never fail to remind us of that.
Which is why you never need to remind me. He taps the side of his head. But still, we have a few more items perhaps we should divvy up. I remember us having a few interesting finds in the cavern, some of which might interest Siren, some of which might interest the rest of us.
Oh yeah, right. Loot. You should probably divvy that up.
Let's see, let us get those. See, we had...
There was that whip thingy.
Yes. The cold whip. What was that one called, Saryun?
cold snap from what I recall.
Oh, because it's cold, it makes a snappy sound. Clever.
Brilliant.
As far as I could tell from it, it is a rather special item in a way. Imagine if you were struck by it. You could, if you were hardy enough, when bracing for the impact, you would merely feel a sense of overwhelming chill that would likely have you hold up for a moment or two. However, if you were not prepared, well, let's just say you might as well have been frozen in place. Quite an interesting item.
Huh. Wasn't there also like a shield thingy or something?
Ah, yes, that frozen buckler.
Yes. Another one that is, well, I guess touched by Crothis. Much akin to how some of you demons, as I've seen, can cast back a sense of fire to your enemies. This would react much the same way. Just with a bit more frosty appearance. A decent shield, no less.
Interesting, interesting.
Was there anything else?
There was that sword that we found. Or wait, did Liska take that sword?
I think
thought
Liska took that sword.
Because it was next to the arm, yes.
Yeah, I think Liska has that one.
Hmm. Oh! The staff.
Oh, staff.
Ah, yes. Now, it is not part of my absolute experience with this type of spells, but innately it seems that the staff itself can cast spells without you knowing them. Mostly ice and water related spells from what I could gather. As well as granting you a sense of resistance to the cold. Likely you'd need to be a full spellcaster to be, you know, trained and all to use it. Sorry, Balthazar.
Actually, you know, when I look at that, I can feel a sense of power coming from it. Interestingly enough, I think I could use that, but I don't think it would suit me.
I would say so. You using a staff in the middle of a melee fight would seem rather odd, if you ask me. Nevertheless.
Still, it might not match the sort of fiery aesthetic you have going on, Nero, but if only powerful casters could use it. Maybe this is something you could use.
It would give me more variety, I think, you know, in case we come across something that is like you and resistant to anything that burns.
This is true.
And I do really, really hate the cold.
I know, this is why I'm hesitant to recommend it. I know how much you hate the cold, but Perhaps carrying this will make it not so bad.
That's what I was saying, so maybe I'll take the staff if no one objects.
Be my guest.
And she'll take it.
Now I do warn you, Nero. Like with fire, frost can also be quite a powerful thing to deal with.
You're saying this, you watch as the staff seems to shrink down to Nero's proportions.
Is this supposed to do that?
I'm
Yes,
not
it is
sure.
a magical item. They fit to the wielder, essentially.
Oh.
I guess I never noticed due to, well, not being so small, but... Again.
Usually it waits for attunement, but apparently the staff are quite eager.
Seems so.
Alright then, was there anything else?
I believe there was the potions as well. There were two very unique potions that you picked up.
I wrote this all down, but Siren wasn't there.
We have
There was
out of characters, the Essence of Rage, and
Potion of Flying, Potion of Fire Breath, and a Potion of Heroism.
Yes. Now, I want to say the potion is something we should give to Gronka, however, well, it would grant him just a similar effect as to what he already does when he
I was
gets
gonna say,
mad.
he is pretty angry all the time already.
Would its best benefit?
Grant him.
Well, Balthazar, you were earlier wandering around. What perhaps Gronka can do aside to allow for his withstanding of such damage? Perhaps this can help you in that regard. You only have a limited two of them, but
you know, I have a thought. More and more I'm trying to train him to be, but what if we have Vellum take this? Vellum could take this, and then when the time is right, he could drink something like this and rush into the sides of the enemy. A powerful flanking maneuver, a frenzied charge that would hopefully be more effective than just himself.
Not a bad idea, however, it is not without a certain downside.
Yeah, this ain't gonna fuck me, is it?
You might feel a migraine-like headache, but
Oh,
you
I mean,
don't wear heavy armor, do you, Sable? Like, Venom doesn't wear heavy armor.
nope, he's a medium boy.
Nice. So you actually would get the full benefits of the raid.
Mm-hmm.
though the potion is a bit special as it grants you the bonus of rage even if you're wearing heavy.
Well, couldn't hurt to have it on hand, I guess.
Go for it. Personally, I'm one who never loves a headache, so...
What else is on the list of things we've found? We've seen the whip, the buckler, the staff, the potion. What else did we...
I
Weren't there a
believe
few more potions?
To be honest, I do not recall.
there was also
there was
the
a sword bottle, I do think Liska took that one.
Yes, we've been over that. It belonged to,
A friend
what's
of
his
hers.
face, the corpse. Along with
Yes.
that shield. Not this buckler, but it was a fancier... Yes, I remember her turning them in.
What else were there? There were... Wasn't there also a ring? Or
I do
am
not
I
remember.
remembering something?
I do not remember a rating. The potions we had left are potion of flying, potion of fire breath, and a potion of
And
heroism,
heroism.
and then one scroll of revivify.
That was it.
Nice.
And the scroll revivify easily went to the person who could cast it.
Alright, well, let me add that on my sheet.
So, as all of you are discussing this, Magna, what are you doing?
About to knock on our door and just disturb us.
Yeah, pretty much. Just Magnet comes in a nice, simple but a nice but simple dress, knocking heavily on the door. Hello.
Oh. Well, Twisty or Misty, would one of you get the door, please? Thank you.
Very well, Balthazar. Which is which is, as Callista actually takes the initiative, and she kind of flutters over to the door. Mage Hand kind of opens it up, and you see Magna in a very nice flowing dress.
Oh. Oh, hey, look, picture in the chat. Nice dress.
Nice dress.
Oh. Oh, well, hello. Nice to see you so early in the morning.
Well, what do you expect me to be? Late? Never. So, I was hoping you and me could go out for a little bit and talk. I have one or two errands while I'm out.
He's just going to sort of cross his fingers together, lay them on the table, look back to the others. One of his splined brows starts to quirk up. I trust from this point on you do not need my opinions.
I mean, it's not like we're gonna be divvying out gold without you, so...
Yeah, I'm not counting all that.
You go on, you have a date, it seems. And there's a
Very
sort of
well.
slight smile from Sao.
Speaking of gold, let me get my pouch one moment.
Maggie just looks over to Sal and just smiles.
You're gonna go in the other room. He's going to get
Don't be
properly
too rough
dressed.
on him.
I can make no such promise.
Out
Oh,
comes
he
the
will be
fancy
alive
chocolate.
though.
Pay for this avocado.
Ah, fine.
Get up.
Huh. It's kind of hard to ignore when you're living in tents.
Okay.
I'll not comment on that.
As probably you shouldn't.
Damn girl.
I return. As he's in his fancy clothes, super codpiece, visible coin pouch. Wow. Look at me, I'm
Naturally.
saying the same thing twice.
Well, shall we off?
Very well. If I'm not back by this time tomorrow morning, Have a drink for me. As he looks to the others and then he steps off.
So
Thank you.
just sort of nods.
So you watch Balthazar and Ragnar disappear out the door, presumably to have a
Coffee.
quote-unquote coffee, as it were, and generally nice day out. As the rest of you, is there anything you would like to get done today? Any errands you'd like to run?
Sao will take some time to herself to reconfigure her gun
Mhm.
for reasons. Besides that, not much Sao will do right now.
How long does it usually take her to sort her guns out?
As it depends, because I'm kind of trying to rework my gun to work off thunder instead of raw force of physical force. So
Because force sucks. Well, during the course of like the breakfast and such, Belma's gonna speak up. Oh, by the way, so wondering if you could give me a hand with some projects at some point this week. Always good to have an extra set of hands.
oh sure. Though if you would mind if I took some time to work on my own first, if that's okay.
Yeah, no problem. Probably got a lot to fiddle with after the shit we went through.
Many new ideas. Many.
Sounds like you got your hands full, much like I have. Well, if you get time, you know where to find me.
I will.
He's gonna stand up and stretch. And he's gonna go see how the weather is.
You are underground in a massive dwarven citadel.
Look, don't get sarky with me. Peter. You know what the fuck I mean. He's going to walk out and then go see what the weather's like.
Okay. Then.
It's not like there's a fucking weather channel that you can just check.
I mean, there is like a large sort of partly open crag in the very kind of top cavernous area of the citadel. It's sort of barred over with these very thick iron grates, presumably to fortify that weak point, that weakened defense area.
Well, I mean, he was gonna go out front like he did last time.
Yeah, fair enough.
It's good enough to see what the weather is, at least if it's closer.
From what you saw from the crag, it looks fairly sunny out. As sunny as it can be in this snowy climate.
Yeah, I mean, you get what you're given, basically.
Yeah. But
well, he's gonna head out front. And he's gonna spend the day working there. And if anyone wants to approach him, that's their prerogative.
Okay then. Definitely sunny out enough to work on your projects with your how unique your smithing method is.
And yeah, let's move on to the next person, because that's basically what you're going to be doing.
Let's see. Grunker, what are you doing? Grunky boy.
Oh, shit. What do I do?
Yeah, because exploring the town is a bit out of the question due to...
I mean, it does have the mark now, and apparently that means city is more accepted.
Sure.
Let's see.
Grunk is just gonna fucking flash people if they disagree with him.
I think I might have to come back to you on that.
Okay then. Niril, what would you like to do today?
At least for while Sao is messing with her gun, she'll stay with her. After
Okay.
that, she may go off to something. I'll have to get back to you on that bit.
Okay then. Siren, what are you doing?
Let's see. Siren. Um, Siren is going to do something like that. There. So I'm trying to figure out my notes. She's going to go and try to find. She's going to go to the Sapphire Assembly, and she's going to try to
The Fire Archives.
that, and she's going to try and look up some. Just do some geographical kind of research to see if she can find out, like, where two angels fell or tyrants of light. You know, things like that.
Actually, can Gurka come with you on that?
Sure.
To the archive.
Alright, so you make your way up to the massive, the massive sort of Capitol Hill-like building with this sort of dwarven tinge to it. Make your way inside. You are, let's see here. You are greeted by very similar, very elderly gentleman. Kind of he's seen you before. He knows generally what you want to do here. He kind of sees you off to a very familiar looking demon curator. This is Trahar Uldrexis. What can I?
Pulling up notes to find his name.
What can I help you with?
Hello, Jaha. I have to kind of come across a riddle of sorts, and I was wondering if perhaps you could aid me in locating a couple of the places it hints at.
A riddle, you say?
Mm-hmm.
Interesting. I've something to flex the mind, as it were.
Yes, yes. And of course... Oh, what was that?
No, continue.
It's just... yes, looking for kind of an association of sorts, like where two angels might have fallen, where there might be a tyrant of light. What exactly is the world's peak? Things like that.
Perhaps you might be able to find some information that you're looking for. Come, follow me. Which is he kind of leads you through some of the sort of maze-like bookshelves, and you two begin the process of researching through the any sort of mention of any world's peak, of any fall of angels. Make an investigation check with advantage as Trahar helps you. I'm going to do the same.
And whatever Bronk is doing.
Yeah.
Where did I put his character sheet?
That moment when the NPC has a character sheet.
Yeah. Yeah. Ish. Not bad. Okay. You spend the best part of a couple of hours through this whole process, gathering books and tomes that reference some semblance of, well, first of all, Angel's Fall. From what you can gather, most books talk about the formation of Ragnarok and the the history behind the fallen angels that fell to Ragnarok from the high heavens, who then became demonkind, the separatists, and the divine civil war between the separatists and the loyalists. And you gather as much that at Angel's Fall points towards Ragnarok, the continent. What was the second one you were looking for?
Tyrant of Light.
Tyrant of Light.
Isn't that the nickname for that angel guy?
From what you gather,
I think it might have been, yeah.
most individuals who write about a tyrant of light point towards the tumultuous time in which Kirael ruled the continent, the sort of island nation continent of Ahura. Many point towards let's see. Many point towards the person who's in charge of Ahura as of now, as of the present day. An individual called Victor Creighton, also known as Light's Fury. Seems to be the current overseer of the continent, as an extension of the Carthan Commonwealth's influence.
And World's Peak.
World's Peak, because both of you rolled an 18. World's Peak seems to refer to the highest mountain peak in the world, which would be that would be Mount Duunhollow in Maitreya. That would be on the border between the Gold Expanse and Kitesh.
Alright. Interesting.
Hey, Janner.
Yeah.
Could you please spell out that place you said, Ahor?
Ahura. Fucking
Oh,
god damn it.
that means that
What?
Ahura means whore in Swedish.
Oh, does it?
Oh,
Yeah.
That is amazing.
fucking
Yeah,
god
that's why
damn
I
it.
laughed. Ahura.
God damn it.
Ahura.
Hora, yeah.
That's great.
I will smite you.
Yes.
I will say it is
Ahura.
also not that far away from the Danish version, so
I will smite the both of you in that case.
Yeah.
Ahura.
you're welcome.
Yeah.
That's
God
good
damn
stuff.
it. God damn it.
Yeah.
Beneath the Tyrant of Light on the Islands of Whores.
Don't the rest of you start. I will give you a permanent disadvantage.
it's the right
Victor
reason.
Creighton, the Light's Fury. What?
Ragnarok with Ambrosia. I mean, there's bound to be whores.
Oh no.
Yeah, Victor Creighton is also known as the Light's Fury.
Light's Fury. Yeah.
Fucking shush.
Island of Whores. Anyway, so what's Grunka doing?
Yeah, what is Drunker doing? What would you like to
Right,
research, if
well.
anything?
Surrounded by a bunch of books.
Probably gonna research the plane of fire.
Sure. This is going to be after Sirens. It'll be like
Yeah.
two-hour investigation.
Yeah, he's just gonna be standing there looking at why, wondering why there's so much paper in here.
Yeah. Okay. I'll say go ahead and make an investigation check as Trahar also begins to help you with this endeavor.
Right, investigation.
Okay. Roll. 16 and 15. Okay. So, from what you can recall, from what you've heard and from what you gather from the number of different books here, let's see. Most of the books here are written by one Eldor Tithnia, an individual responsible for most of the research on otherworldly planes. He was a what they would call a plane hopper in his youth.
Or, as in American terms, an avid traveler.
An avid traveler. Yes.
Cross-state driver.
So
We call it interstate.
yeah.
That shows how much I know.
No, it's fine.
So it's well, stepping into the plane of fire for one. It's like stepping into the flaming maw of a dragon. And you gather if one does not have much protection or immunity or resistance from temperatures high enough to melt stone, then death is pretty swift. And the information that you gather from this one Eldor Tithnia, it assumes visitors and their clothing and gear has the capability and either does not need to breathe or can compensate from a superheated, often toxic atmosphere that can immolate one from the inside out. Plane of Fire's weather is hot and deadly, and rains of hot ash move about like thunderstorms, threatening those on or near the ground with its hot embers and blinding ash. And water does quickly evaporate and is nigh impossible to find. And many of what you would expect to be rivers are instead rivers of molten hot magma, and fall into things called magma falls or fire falls. Matter from other quains quickly either evaporates or burns to ash, melting to magma, and many things are surrounded by elemental fire, which cannot be put out by any means other than magical. Plane of Fire has normal gravity and landscape. Its ground is made of loosely packed elemental fire and feels like walking on a swamp of hot coals. You gather that the elemental plane of fire, like all other elemental forces, behaves differently under order and chaos. Chaotic elemental fire creates choking elemental ash storms, but under the effects of lawful energy, elemental fire creates glorious, radiant, warm sun rays. Most creatures that can tolerate the elemental plane of fire are in fact fire elementals themselves. They are able to mimic humanoid shape and create composites with other elementals. And fire elementals can usually be distinguished by a color of flame. Other inhabitants of the plane of fire are, say, fire bats, fire snakes, and salamanders. One of the most powerful creatures to inhabit the plane of fire, from what you gather from the text you're reading now, are phoenixes, also known in the text you're reading now as novae. Born from the fiery remains of the elemental lord of fire, and able to shift between the plane of fire and the material realms at will. And you know that the language spoken by the natives is called Ignan, and resembles the hissing and clicks of wood being consumed by a burning campfire. That's what you know of the plane of fire.
Okay. But did you say that how do you spell the people that you just say, Novi? It's just N-O-V-I?
Novi.
Yeah, okay.
That's the apparently the true name for phoenixes.
Aight. Wow. That was interesting.
Is there anything else you'd like to research while you're here? Because overall, both sirens and let's see, sirens and Grunker's research will be about 4 hours overall, and it's 10 gold an hour. So that's 40 gold in total.
So 20 each.
Would it be possible, with the help of the curator here, to figure out who it was of the like, is there any, would there be any like record of different elementals and stuff, or is that something that just wouldn't be known? Because I was thinking if there would be a possibility to find out who it was that the Grunka saw in his dreams.
Within 16 and a 15, probably not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking as like a second research for specifically the
Okay.
elementals, not necessarily the plane
All right,
itself.
so this is going to be much deeper research. So you're going to the DC for this is going to be a bit higher, and it's going to cost you some extra time and money. Okay. You're asking about this, and he says, I'm not familiar with any specifically named elementals or any of the type you described. No, but we can have a go.
Yeah.
So, roll another investigation check with advantage.
I also help him out since he's there and Siren's intrigued.
Sorry?
Like just roll. But can I also roll like to have Siren help with the research because she's in like she finished hers, but she's also intrigued what Grunka is doing.
Okay.
So can I roll an investigation check?
I'll say this is going to be a straight roll though, because
That's fine.
The curator is helping Grunker specifically. So go ahead and roll a straight investigation.
Just a 12.
12. With the 10 and the 12, you're not able to gather much information about the specific elemental that you witnessed in your dream, Grunker.
Oh well.
So Grunka, if you don't mind me asking,
Yeah.
why are you suddenly interested in the plane of fire and fire elementals? Does this have something to do with that dream you had back when we were in Cliffspire?
Yeah. They
Yes.
kind of looks like at his arms, pretty much. I have been feeling very warm after the dream. It's like the heat never went away from being there.
Julia. Well, have you had any more dreams about it? Or is
No.
it just that one?
No, not anymore after that, no.
Well, if I'm always happy to help a fellow scholar study, so if you need any further help, or if you have, I guess, any more dreams that leave you awakened and feverish, I'm glad to help.
Okay.
Though as it stands, I don't quite know what exactly we've learned so far from this?
Yeah, it's not much yet.
Well, we've at least been in touch with one plane.
Mm.
I don't know if we've had. Quick, out of character question: did Grunka or Vellum ever talk about that weird Fey wild kind of plane that they went into?
Velen briefly mentioned it, but didn't go into detail because it was pretty fucking traumatizing.
Yeah, I think
Mhm.
Nero like asked where we went, and I think Grunka just said like big forests with glowy things.
Okay.
And there was never really any follow up to that.
Okay. I know that we've had contact with Blacklands when we first were going to fight the Awakened and all that fun stuff. Didn't you and Vellum go somewhere else as well? I heard after the fact that at that point in time,
Yeah,
someone was trying to eat my mind.
yeah. It was a very big forest with a real big tree and a lot of glowy things like other plants and little things that flew around. It was giggling.
Did Brooker,
Yeah.
what languages do you know?
I know that.
Okay. All right. Well, and I'm assuming Goblin and wait, Undertongue. What the fuck
Yeah.
is Undertongue?
It's basically the undercommon
Oh, okay.
because he comes from underground.
Gotcha. I'm assuming that Goblin was your first language, with Undercommon a close second.
Yeah.
And
The undercommon is more
or trains Undertongue. Oh, shut up.
undertongue. Is more in. It's more of the something that the people who like to fight the uh, the other short bald dwarfs thingies with red eyes and smelly breaths.
Oh, the Underdwarves, right? Like there's
Yeah,
been a spate of attacks from them in
yeah,
Duunhollow.
yeah. The bad. We don't like them, and they don't like us.
I can understand why, given
Yeah.
the red eyes, smelly bad and bad. I mean, the only reason I ask, Kronka, is that you do seem to have. I mean, you obviously have knowledge in trade tongue,
Yeah.
but it seems. I was just hoping that perhaps like there's another language that we had in common, because I don't think, contrary to what most would believe, that you're dumb. I just feel that you don't quite have the capabilities of being as eloquent in trade tongue as you would in, let's say, Goblin or Undertongue.
Yeah.
Um,
Is there magic stuff for that?
I mean, there are a few spells and whatnot, some potions, I think, as well, that would allow you to speak more freely. Um, would, this is. Would you be interested in possibly me tutoring you in trade tongue?
I mean, if you want.
Well, it's not if I want, Grog, it's if you want. Would you like to
It would
be a bit more fluent?
would make things easier.
Okay. Well, we do have a week or so before we have to go into that gauntlet. You can start now if you'd like.
Okay.
Okay. And then Siren is going to basically see if she can find a book on. It's like your standard, like, book on pronunciation, elocution,
Yeah,
things like that.
I mean, it's easy enough to do. I'm not going to make you roll for it because this great
A
big
big fucking
library
library. Yeah.
great big library of many pieces of ancient knowledge. A simple dictionary and guide to trade tongue.
I'm sure they have a trade tongue for dummies.
Yeah. So you do easy enough to find such a book. And
Everybody speaks baby's first trade tongue.
Drahar also kind of also helps you find one. He says, "Well, if that will be all, I do have a bit of practice to get to before the tournament. I've mentioned something about attending the gauntlet. Are you also attending?"
Wait, are you participating?
Well, yes. The Sapphire
Who are
Seers.
you? The Sapphire Seers.
Yes.
How interesting.
Something I'd refer to.
Yes, we are. We are. What's Sorry. What were you about to say?
Oh, it's just a little group that a few colleagues and I have gotten to form together. We are confident in our abilities. I should hope to see you there.
Well, I mean,
there is a sort of playful smugness to him.
Well, I hope to see you there as well. You do know that it is to the death, right?
Well, yes, but if our group don't plan to die, but
Most don't.
if it does come to that, there is always the flag in the center we can always heft up should we feel the need.
To forfeit.
Yes, but we don't plan to, nor do we plan to die.
Again, not many people do. Well, it would, after all the help that you've given us, I think it's sporting to cheer you on whenever we're not competing.
And us
Like the
likewise.
Sapphire Seers, you said?
Yes.
Well, my compatriot and I, and she motions to Grunka, we are part of the Black Hand.
I've certainly heard of the Black Hand competing. I didn't know you were part of it.
Oh yes, quite. Me, my brother Balthazar that you met not many days ago, and quite a few more. I think. Did you perchance see a small black kobold wandering about?
I did, yes.
Yes, she is part of our group as well.
He gives a sort of wry smirk and says, "Interesting. Well,
Yes, I think it's quite peculiar. I mean, after to be fair, we didn't even realize it was quite so soon. We've just slain a dragon, a vampire. Like, we're quite taxed, but I think just for a week's recovery should be fine for it.
a vampire and a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
Most impressive, I will say."
Yes. But it's not a matter of competing against each other, is it? No. We're just out there to destroy the creatures that are set before us.
Of course. There is a knowing kind of smug grin. With that, he kind of leaves you to your work and says, "Best be prepared." And gives a tap on his nose.
Mm-hmm.
And walks
Good
off.
luck.
You too. That you are left to your tutoring.
Alright. Yeah, Siren's going to basically look back on her own formal education, if you can call it that, and along with her scholarly capabilities, her sage background, basically try to help tutor Grunka in, trade tongue.
Okay then. So, as you do that, we'll come back to you two later because this is going to involve a roll. Let's see, Balthazar and Magna, what are you two doing on your day out?
Night on the town, or day on the town rather. Early morning lunch.
Pretty
Brunch.
much.
Sudden assassin
Brunch.
attack.
Second breakfast.
First breakfast, second breakfast.
What about first lunch?
Oh, what about second one?
Potatoes.
Okay, enough,
Potato.
enough halfling jokes.
Boil
Okay.
mash 'em, stick with a stew.
Thank God nobody here is a halfling, otherwise they'd be terribly offended and I wouldn't care. Okay, so, yeah, no one gives a fuck about halflings. Halflings are just weaker goblins.
Halflings are lucky motherfuckers.
Halflings are
Yeah.
fucking stupid. Anyway,
I mean, physically weak.
Your face-
If anyone's gonna be lucky here, it's gonna be me, as we see from Magna.
Maybe, you don't know.
Maybe. Maybe this is all just a lure to get me into the reach of Liska for her to crush my head between those thighs. A certain death.
Oh my fucking god.
A death I'm sure Balthazar very much welcomes.
That's how I always wanted to go. So, yeah, we're out.
Fucking god.
I guess it's gonna be a nice day of him treating you to what I guess would be lunch. She said she wanted to do some errands, though. Did she want to do that beforehand or after?
After.
Okay. Well, I guess I will not so subtly suggest that little diner to the northeast that Nero fucking destroyed. Because apparently it's a nice place, and also he wants to see how it's recovering.
Okay then. So you do ask around for a bit. You do hear names of a place called the Brimstone Tulip. Although they are recently doing some renovations.
Not open kind of renovations?
Open, but it's basically from what you gather, they are recovering from.
From the New Orleans.
They are recovering from a spate of vandalization.
Vandalization.
Ah.
Cobalt vandalization.
Well, that kind of lets me know what's going on, so I can shift attention elsewhere to a nicer place.
The best kind of
You have been
ventilation.
here for quite a while. Do you have any favorite spots?
Do have one. It's more in the Golden Ring, like the very center of the city. I haven't been there much. Used to go there by myself. I can't remember the name. God damn it. It's been a while. Thanks for a moment. I think his name was the Golden Goose. I think that's the name of it. Could be wrong.
The Golden Goose.
Yes.
Well, we could certainly give it a try.
Okay.
If it's shit, I'll have to hold you to it.
Oh, come on. If we're going out on a business date at least, make sure the food is fucking fine. If not, we'll go back to some other crappy place and have a drink instead. You wound me.
Ah, yes, well, I suppose I have no choice but to take back my words. Let us see. And I guess we'll go off and go get lunch for a while.
All right. Yeah, to the Golden Circle. The doors to the Golden Circle are closed, and there are kind of two guards flanking either side. So, all. What's your business within the Golden Circle?
I've come here to go dine in the Golden Goose. Nothing more.
Balthazar is wearing his fancy clothes that I have linked in the chat, and he is also just got his coin purse there. It's ready.
Is this on official business?
Yes.
Wait, can I see some form of either identification or proof?
Ah, yes. With my standings as a member of the Merchants Guild from the lodge within, no.
I mean,
Make a persuasion check with advantage.
Persuasion check with advantage. $24.
I certainly will, sir. On your way, on your way. Which they both kind of stand aside, and one of them kind of knocks the sort of iron door, and you see a couple of other iron guard kind of open it from the other side. You both make your way into the golden circle.
There we go. This strut has just a tad bit more swagger.
Megan looks back and like, huh. Weird, but whatever.
Something unusual.
It's just, I usually come here by myself and show them my Hunter's mark. It's fine, but I guess there's high security for, I guess, the assassin?
I would argue that it is likely because of the, insurgencies.
Fair enough. Hope they get that stupid bitch.
I meant the deep orbs.
I know what you're talking about.
Fair
I call them bitches anyway.
So,
well, with the heart. Oh, go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, he was done with that.
All right. So you, Magna, you do recall your steps. The way you often make your way through the golden circle to the golden goose. It's a smaller establishment than most of the very large, massive stone buildings that you kind of see on your way through the golden circle here. Smaller establishment, but it's very nicely very nicely set up. It's, I could say, very high class establishment. If there was any sort of rating, you'd probably rate it about a full 5-star service. There are numerous numerous kind of individuals that wait on you hand on foot, and you see this entire establishment. There are pillows in this sort of dipped circle like formations. The entire place is almost seen to be set up like some sort of lounging bedroom, and food is handed to you on platters, almost like a buffet set around these central tables with the pillows and cushions surrounding it, and you're welcome to lounge as you see fit.
This is where I go to get pampered. No finer place. They wait on your hand and foot. You don't have to worry about a chair. You lounge. Think of it as
lounging.
A home away from home with the best rating.
There are.
Oh, cool.
There are silken tapestries kind of draped in all throughout these gorgeous emerald silks, and you kind of enter through this sort of beaded drapery of like a doorway. It's a kind of open doorway rather. You are
very nice.
You're all you're both seated into a smaller kind of recessed sort of like almost like some sort of fire pit, where you sort of lounge in this kind of this drapery of silks and fine materials, fine cloths. You are served a very fine meal. This would be, gather what this would cost you actually.
A lot.
Probably a lot.
Probably a few gold pieces.
Lodging. Yeah, this would definitely be run you about 3 gold pieces
Easy.
for the whole meal.
Gonna go ahead and
Jump
correct
change.
that. Okay, there we go. For Big Daddy Bouth, yes. Alright, so that's paid for. Do we want to talk about anything specific roleplay-wise, or do we want to shift over to somebody like Nero, who hasn't gotten to do much? Nero Sayun?
Yeah, we can shift, because
Sure.
I can go into more detail with the text.
Okay,
Roleplay
so
later.
Sure.
Niril and
We
Saoyun.
can do a text talk. That's easier for you.
Yeah. Okay. Niril and Saoyun, you both find yourselves back in the Golden Lodge. Niril, you're watching Saoyun work on her new thunder gun.
So, what exactly are you doing?
Well,
Did it break?
not quite. I realized more or less during the fight that what I was doing was a bit more than a surface scratch, if you will. Even with a killing blow, it felt lacking. It needed some oomph, if you will.
So, you're trying to make it strong enough to make dragons explode?
Not quite, but something more akin to hard hitting.
Huh. Alright then, do you need any help? I can do my best.
Not quite yet. I do still have a few things I need to adjust.
Huh.
But perhaps you and I could take a walk to the arena and scout it out beforehand. I do also need to go visit Vellum for a bit.
Do you think we'd be allowed to go look at the arena?
Maybe? But let's go to Vellum first. He's probably
Okay.
outside freezing his ass off again.
Well, I must have some sun because, he's not back yet.
True.
Yeah, we
Shall
should probably go check on him.
Mhm.
I don't know if he just is wearing his linen shirt again.
Okay. Gonna go make your way outside the front gates of the city to meet Vellum, yeah?
Yes.
Alrighty. Make your way over to the exterior, and you are also reminded of the sheer immensity of the city just from the front gates alone. The two enormous statues of these tall, kind of imposing dwarven individuals, both with their hammers kind of set up against the ground. The two massive kind of emerald gates are sort of pushed ajar just to let the various trading caravans and such within the city.
And likely off the main. I imagine there's like a road that leads up to it, so off to the
Yeah.
side, out of the way. He's gonna set up and be working. And he's taking his, like usual, he's taking his armor off to free up movement and all that business. And he looks like he's actually breaking up a sweat, which is a weird thing to see given the environment.
Tink,
But-
tink, tink, tink.
Tink, tink. Indeed. and he seems focused on the task at the moment. He's not really noticed or register anything around him first.
So should we get his attention, or should we just let him work?
Well, hey, there's Tinks.
Yeah, I actually hear the tinks.
Yeah. I don't have to make him with my mouth anymore.
Hehe. Um,
A few travelling individuals kind of give Vellum the odd look as he's kind of tinkering off to the side of the main road here.
Yeah, you can look but you can't touch. He will eventually pause to get himself some hydration. And then he will notice. Oh, didn't realize you two were there.
It's fine.
you seem rather preoccupied.
Well, making the most of the light. How'd your gun fiddling go?
It went well. Still need to adjust a few things, but overall doing well.
How are you feeling?
Hmm?
Well, you were out pretty late last night, weren't you?
Oh, yeah. I was, doing some research at the Sapphire Assembly. I think is what... I don't remember what it's called.
Sapphire Summit.
Oh, yeah,
Sapphire
that,
Archives.
one of those. Thank you, passing by bird.
Thank you, voice in my head.
But, yeah,
Well, what are you looking for anyway?
I was trying to figure out that whole dragon wing glowy thingy that happened to me back at, Crothis' lair.
Yeah, I think I missed that bit. At least I wasn't paying attention to it. What happened to you?
To be honest, I don't know. The only thing I did learn is that apparently there were rumors about a 5th primordial dragon?
Fifth
You
one.
think what happened to you is related to it?
Maybe?
As far as meta knowledge is concerned, Saoyun and Vellum, neither of you would have heard about anything regarding primordial dragons.
Oh yeah, for sure. Well, no, go on.
So, yeah, that's a thing.
Yeah,
Still have no idea why I sprouted wings. That seem to be
yeah,
made out.
can't help you sadly. I mean, I don't know jack all about dragons in the first place. Sorry, I just read Grogu's fucking
You
Bob
do
the
saying
MF.
you do keep saying you don't do magic, and dragons are highly magical by nature, so that doesn't surprise me.
Well, I mean, I hear all the stories about dragons, but it's all sea shanty, told tales and shit.
Do they kidnap people? Random thoughts. Oh, Sal wanted to talk to you about something, apparently.
Yeah. Wondering if you needed a bit of help with your crafting.
He does give a smile at that. Well, I mean, honestly, yeah, I could use another set of skill downs. Getting a bit of trouble getting my joints going again. He does give a little chuckle at the notion, but given the amount of fucking frostbite he had, he's feeling a bit
Stiff.
yeah. He does, in fact, that's sort of as he mentions getting his joint back in sorts, he's sort of moving his arm a bit. There's like a slight stoicism to his face for a brief moment.
Well, to be fair, you did take a frost breath or two, so.
And get thrown off a cliff. To just
Yeah.
lay for a bit.
Yeah, that'll do a number on anyone. I'm honestly surprised I'm alive. But yeah, I could definitely use another set of hands.
I
There's
guess
no
I'll
reason
just watch
can't,
again.
you want to stick around and chat while we do this, Nero?
Sure. I mean, I don't have anything better to do right now.
Want to? I mean,
Sorry, say that again, Ducko.
you can always tell us what you found so far.
Yeah, we don't really get to talk as much.
Might be a good way to refresh what you found.
Okay.
Hmm.
About the thing I was researching, or just on general?
In general, if you want, or if you want to be more specific, the thing you researched. Up to you.
Yeah, I'll be honest. Sometimes you keep to yourself a lot, and that does make me worry.
Oh, I was just keeping to myself just because yesterday because I was thinking on whether or not it was a good idea for me to actually join the Hunter's Keep.
Yeah, but I mean, we're all had a hell of a time up. I don't know. I feel like we didn't talk as much as we used to.
Well, to be honest, we have not really had chances to talk since, we left.
You're not wrong. We have bounced around a lot.
I was going to maybe suggest a card game once everyone got back.
Fair enough.
Yeah. So long as people avoid those really awkward questions.
I do think we would need some rules on that.
Yeah.
Not sure what they'd be though. I mean, with our lot, it's hard to tell what's all, what's not.
True. True. And she'll just sort of stand there, like, kind of kick a pile of snow.
Hmm.
Right then, should we get to it, so? Get down to business.
Let's.
And I do.
Yep. Go
I'm
ahead.
doing my Smith check with advantage because hooray, friendship!
Yep. Go ahead.
Friendship.
This will just be the next 4 hours, so I guess that's where we'll be.
Okay.
Advantage. Yeah.
21. This is to
Moderate
make the
success.
shield, yeah?
Yep, don't worry, I've got all that keeping track on over here.
Alrighty.
But let's pan back over to somebody else. I was going to say Magna by default, because this is sort of Magna's day.
Yeah, let's just
But,
let's go back to Magna. Let's see what the chat is about.
Hold up. 1 second.
Okay. Okay. So you hand him the dagger.
Yep.
He sort of lounges back, and he's going to first look at the dagger and sort of examine it. What does this thing kind of look like?
It has an ivory hilt with a ivory sheath. It's almost like a Damascus type blade with
Oh, that's cool.
Dwarven runes written in the middle of it. Saying blood, basically. He'll translate for you, basically saying that. And on the other side of it says brother. He pulls out
Okay.
a identical type dagger, and the other on it looks exactly the same except the runes on either side says blood and then family. On the hilt of the pommel, you'll see almost like a humanized face, and he'll simply talk into it, and you'll hear on your end of the pommel, I can basically speak over you on great distances with this. Small trinket, but worth its amount in gold. Or platinum.
New dagger, who this?
Dagger, who this? That is fascinating. What an interesting little trinket. He's just gonna look at it for a second. Sort of scrutinous look. Gazes back up to her. Why are you giving me this?
The reason why it says blood brother is for the reason this once belonged to my brother. He had it with him, and we used to talk over great distances so I could keep a good eye on him, know how he's doing. The last time I was out, I found this on a group of bandits, along with something else of his, which I keep personally for me. I'm not going to tell you what it is. But I have not heard from him since, and it concerns me.
So his dagger and sheath was found on a group of bandits.
Yes.
You know, I don't have to tell you what that probably means.
I know there's a very slim chance, maybe non-existent, that he might be dead. Though I have my suspicions. He may be alive, and if you can find him and ally yourself with him, he might be a valuable asset.
So you're saying you wish to hire the Black Hand to find someone?
One of the reasons, yes. And when I can get with you and Siren alone, I have another proposition for you that may be tickling the hunter within, if you catch my drift.
To me, that means many things. I'm excited to find out which you have in mind. Still, we can be quite expensive, you know.
Money means nothing to me at this point. As long as my brother or his remains is brought back to me, I give zero fucks.
You did help us with Crothis. I would be hard-pressed to find a reason not to help you at least find your brother. I can't promise that we can find him, or that we would even be able to bring him back alive. But I can promise I will at least try.
But if you find anyone who have killed him, I would most appreciatedly, if that came to pass, make them suffer.
That is easily done.
Good.
Very well. This brother of yours, does he have a name?
Yes. His name is Kruvin Altimar. He took his last name after, well, he's my half-brother, so it's after his mother.
I see. How about these? As he'll reach into his pocket and pull out a little journal. I produce a little pen, slide it forward. I wish for you to write down his name for me. A brief description of what he looks like. Something that we could recognize him with, regardless if he had armor or not on. Because if he was attacked by bandits and this dagger made our way here, His usual attire is probably gone.
Well, okay. She's going to write this down, and now,
Yep, so that way you can write it up, because I know writing's a little easier.
yep.
Give it to me for notes as well.
Okay.
Mhm.
So,
I did give you a scroll, but that's the other job. I don't know if you want this. There's a one name in there that if one of your groups can speak Dorvish, any chance?
Yes, we have someone who can.
Well, with this list, there's going to be a slight complication.
And
I'll put it this way. It. Key things for a moment. It might require you to extinguish a friendly life. One that is
Parks
here.
up quite like that.
This is, I'm not asking you to take this very lightly. It's for a plan, and I'm doing it for personal reasons. Once it's done, and you'll have your reasons after the fact.
He's gonna lean in and speak quietly. So by extinguish a friendly life, you're asking me to assassinate someone.
Yes, I am. The very last
This
name
can
on
be
that
arranged.
list. The very last name on that list, you'll be quite surprised about who it may be. But the other names on that list, there are quite a few.
Very
So-
well. Let me see this list before I agree.
All right. He'll hand over the sealed scroll, and I'll post the list to both you and Jandra in a second.
Okay.
okay.
I'm going to test the earring real quick and see if I'm in range of anybody.
Let's see. You are.
It's probably gonna be Siren and Grunker if anyone, because everyone else is outside the fucking city.
You are just out of Siren and Grunker's range.
Okay.
Would you like to pan over to someone else, or?
Yeah.
Sure. That way while you write that up.
All right. Let's pan over to Grunker and Siren. See here.
Okay, and so you see here that you must have the noun before the verb. So, hold on. So yeah, where you want me to make a roll?
Yeah, I will say Grunker, make an intelligence check with advantage.
Whoop. Whoop whoop. Minus whatever.
You got
17.
Hey.
Okay, so this is your sum total efforts for most of it, for pretty much all of this session. You would have to roll intelligence checks with advantage with Siren's help each day to further grasp a hold of the trade tongue language. But from what you can gather, you get a pretty fair ways. You're able to somewhat construct some complex sentences. And you also gather that the history of trade tongue naturally kind of evolved over the past few hundred years through use of the need to standardize language between trading entities, between continents. This is a sort of universal language. It was originally developed as a sort of a sort of offshoot of Giant, being that the first speakers of any sort of ancient semblance of the trade tongue language was first spoken by the slaves of the Akteshi Empire, the human and demi-human races, the dwarves, halflings, and humans. Which quickly also spread to kobolds, as they were also slaves of the Akteshi Empire, and it eventually kind of spread from there, further developed into the Tritone language that you now know today. But you are able to gather some complex sentences now.
Nice.
Nice.
Good stuff. So yeah, I guess. Just
You have any
teach Grunka how to.
Again, do they
Yeah.
sell maps and stuff here?
They would sell.
Maps?
Let's see. They would sell some maps, though. This place isn't dedicated in any sense to cartography. Which maps are you looking to buy?
Specifically thinking about the underground.
Sorry?
The I don't remember what you called it. The deep dark.
Oh, yeah, the Deep Dark.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't change the name.
There isn't much concerning the Deep Dark, but I'll go ahead and make an investigation check. Unless Siren wishes to help you on the matter.
Yeah, sure. I mean, fuck, we're here.
13. This was 15. You don't find much regarding any maps concerning the Deep Dark. It's one of those vastly unexplored regions of the world where cartography is very much still in progress, and because the Deep Dark is so dangerous, many have a hard time completely mapping out the area because it is so maze-like in its formation. Many caverns of the world go uninvestigated, unmapped. Who knows? Maybe Grunk is the one to fully explore the Deep Dark.
Who knows?
Map out the completion.
Yeah, I mean, you know.
That's all you would like to do within the Sapphire Archives.
I think so. I can't think of anything.
Yeah. The culmination of your research and the tutoring and the investigation for a map, that's probably going to take you most of the day to do.
Understandable.
Probably pan over to who.
Yeah, yes. So we know how much gold did we spend on this.
Oh, let's see here. Investigation into history. The map itself wasn't really part of the history, as you're not using a curator's services.
Because I made 2 rolls and Siren made 1 more roll.
But about, I'll say, 40 gold for the. No, yeah, 2 rolls, wasn't it? Yeah, that'll be about. I'll say about 60 gold. Actually, no, 60. Because you were investigating what creature, what elemental was in your dreams. That would be deeper knowledge, so that would have taken longer. About 80 gold in total, I'd say. Alrighty. Who would like their time in the spotlight next?
Depends. We've
There's a lot
been
of talking over
around
there, so.
to.
There is quite a bit of talking over where over in the
Yeah.
exterior.
I
of
only
the
speak
city.
for myself, but I feel like we should be focusing more on Magda, because this
Yeah.
is supposed to be that goodbye episode.
That's fair.
I'm
But
almost
that's
done.
just me.
give me-
That's just how I feel.
All right then.
So we're just crafting the gases over here. So
We can
give
pan
me
back
1
over.
second. Give me 1 second. Just I'm trying to save this.
Words be hard.
words are
Yeah.
hard.
Role player's effort.
Sometimes it can be like that.
Give me 1 second.
Do you need time to think on this, or?
No, I'm sending it to you now.
All right. Okay. Okay.
There you go.
So
Well, there's the
Magna.
list.
Magna gives you that rolled up scroll, Balthazar. You kind of unravel it for a moment and take it in.
This is quite the list.
These are the wrongs that have wronged me. So I would like them to be extinguished properly.
This is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people.
Yes,
No, 6.
that is very correct.
Normally assassinations are just a single person. You have quite a comprehensive job here. Might I ask you something?
Go right ahead.
What do you intend to pay for this?
Anything.
Oh, there's the magic word.
He leans back, his fingers cross, as he just rests his hands on his chest. And then there's a slight smirk. Anything?
Indeed.
Very well. Remember the debts that you owe me for this.
I know.
Anything. Very well. I will track these people down, and I will take their heads. They will be returned to you, if the heads can remain. Who knows, they might be turned to a pile of ash. You might just have to settle for a vial of that.
I
You
care
know.
not, as long as I got the evidence of their death. That's all that matters to me.
What can you tell me of these people? Are they part of a greater assassin organization, or is this just a personal threat?
For each one, there is a personal vendetta against each, except for 3. The one called the Red River, the Icy Chateau, and I know the one came Lucien Alcrex. The other 3 are not joined by any brotherhood or camaraderie. But these 3 that I tell you about, they were a small mercenary band. I'm pretty sure someone heard of them before. The Nightwalkers?
That sounds familiar. I may have heard of him.
Lucian killed my fiancée.
Ooh.
Yeah. Just
How
before
bitter.
we were about to, before we got married. Just the night before. And I found him having a knife through my lover's back. I wonder you know how much I feel right now.
I wonder indeed. Well,
As for...
Lucy.
Yep, Lucian Crux. He has a tattoo of a wolf across his face.
Do they have notable skills?
I would say so. He was able to get into a fucking mansion with the best gods, unseen, and killed his mark, which was my love, and left without a trace. I wounded the
Other
bastard.
than a dagger.
Yeah. I wounded him quite fiercely on his left side. This was way before I joined the
Hunter's Keep.
Hunter's Keep, yes. I had my old faithful glaive before it became upgraded to what you see now. I made sure it hurt before he got away.
Well, very well. Do you know if he's part of a assassinations guild or something of the sort?
No, I was too engulfed by rage to think thus far. I was in grief. What do you expect?
Not much. Not much. Very well. Then we shall see that this is done.
Yes, but be careful of Red River and Icy Shadow. Those two work as a team.
Then we will find a way to split them. Even close team members like Siren and myself have periods of isolation.
Oh, and two more things I need to add on to you. The very top of that name, Plofmir Altimar, that is my great-grandfather. He's still alive. He's a, how you say, tough one to crack. I tried fighting him fairly, and I got my ass whooped.
Hiring me to be an assassin. Do you think I'm going to fight fair?
Oh no, I'm just telling you.
I'm going to
Like,
get your job done.
good. I'm just telling you, he likes to play things by the book. As you can see, I'm not that type of person.
No. Then, are these people in Mayland? Am I going to have to sail to Ragnarok to find your grandfather?
No, I think he's in Mayland. I hear he's somewhere. Probably at the south coast. I tried to keep tabs on him for a while, but I lost him there.
Very well.
You might be able to find these three, the one with the mastermind, the Naga, and the Kobold. participating in this gauntlet.
It would be a shame if they were wounded.
Quite a shame indeed. How unbecoming of them.
Yes. Well, with all that said, then why did you give me this dagger?
It's not only to try and find my brother, it's also for me to keep in contact with you.
I see. Very well. So I will have one and you have the other.
Yes. That is
Then,
the plan.
how do you believe this will help us find your brother?
She rolls up her arm and shows the ruins of the mark from her blade. Blood family. If my brother has a tattoo similar as what's on that blade of those runes on his respectively opposite arm, the opposite of mine, besides the description that I gave you, this is a tall tale of this is who is my brother.
So I will be looking for these runes on a man's left arm?
Yes.
Very well. Well, this is a very vague job. It will be extensive and expensive. Are you sure you're willing to pay the price?
Balthazar Alruin. Do I look like I stuttered when I said anything? Money, object, does not matter as long as they are fucking dealt with. Hell, I'll give you my
Very
fucking
well.
soul if I have to.
Why do you do this?
The little smirk goes into a wild smile, and he leans forward. I was just about to warn you that not everything can be paid in gold. But if this is the deal you wish to make, it can be done. Are you sure you wish to hire the Black Hand? As he does, he's already turning his little signet ring over so the insignia faces his palm.
Yes, I am very sure of this.
Very well then. His black hand, left hand, stretches out. Although, with several rings, you can see his signet ring, with the insignia of the black hand, is facing towards the palm instead of up towards the knuckles as he reaches out for a handshake. For any price, I can do that deal. Will you make this deal with me?
Just as Balthazar finished that statement, Magna grasps his hand in a hearty shake.
There's
Pact is sealed.
You sense some form of coldness throughout your hand, Magna. You shake.
He takes a sharp breath in. Not showing it though, but she's quite surprised.
It's very, very cold.
The deal is sealed.
Pull away your hand.
Ugh.
Now, as as he folds up the paper and tucks it into a pocket of his breast coat. Business is done. How about we enjoy a meal? I'm certain you have many interesting tales to tell me. Or I could be the one to tell you.
Well, I'm all ears. We can swap stories. Make it a game of sorts.
Ah, yes. Perhaps I should tell you about how I came over on the Drifting Ember from Ragnarok. A sturdy ship, if not for the time, it nearly sank in a storm. It was, had to be almost 50 years ago. And they'll trail off to a story while we have our little time.
Okay then.
Unless we want to pan over to somebody else.
I think that's a good point to pan over. Let's pan over to the exterior, shall we?
Exterior, snowy ass fucking field.
Yep.
Just tinking. Tink, tink, tink. Where are my tinks, Jenner? I demand tinks.
Careful.
There we are. Yes, that's the good shit.
So as Vellum kind of tinks away, you're all having kind of discussions amongst yourselves. Let's hear it.
Do we want to hop to another topic of conversation, or continue on the humorousness of Nero being awkward?
I mean,
I only did that because you had almost died and I was worried about you.
Yeah, that's what you said, but it's still weird. I figure you need a bit of payback for making me feel so awkward.
True though.
to be fair, most of us has died or close to at various points so far already, so
I still have you all talked with literal death though.
I mean, you have us all beat so far by quite literally dying and then coming back to life.
Yeah, it's not a record I don't think any of us want to beat.
No.
No.
But it's still weird thinking back. I mean, 1 minute we're basically strangers on a job, and here we are. And I definitely didn't think I'd be sharing my forge with any.
I mean, I didn't think I'd be away from my family or branded a traitor and marked for death, and then later, while on a date, getting stabbed through my back, so...
No, I expect to be engaged to anyone other than...
Another kobold?
Her tail somewhat droops at the thought. We'll go with that, yeah.
Honestly,
Well,
arranged marriage is always a sort of weird deal.
I forget, Knick-Knack. Has this information been made, like, is Vellum aware of this information? Because my memory is not great.
No.
So, first time he's hearing it. Interesting. Okay.
Indeed.
Wait, you're already slated to marry someone?
It's... complicated.
Well, I mean, we got nothing but time. Let's hear it.
Okay. A few years ago, when I was back at home, a rival family of kobolds came to my home. Seemed to, plan to, figure out a deal over some territory that was in, argument. They brought their son, and, the deal was that he would have a choice of either me or my sister to charter the peace, and, he chose me. of the night I was to be wed, I ran.
His smile does sour a little bit as the story is being told. It's not the way it should be, that's for sure. I never understood that whole arranged marriage law.
Yeah, well, when you're basically the equivalent to Cobalt royalty, it kinda happens.
See, that's something I'm surprised I didn't know already. You want me to be calling you Your Majesty or something now?
I will slap you with my tail and knock out all your teeth. And I said basically, my mom was the shaman of the tribe, so yeah.
So wait, would that make me a princess or a prince? And spoken in a joking manner.
You can be whoever you want to be. That sounded better in my head.
I imagine it did. But look at you
Then I
now.
choose to be. Then I choose to be your prince on a horse, although I do not have a horse.
Get you a ram.
I could do that.
You
Though
know-
I'm pretty sure Nero already knows what kind of ram. And she sort of does the eyebrow wiggle.
Oh god.
And her black scales visibly turn red.
I
Hey,
got you.
I mean, it worked out for you. Look at you now. You're out on the road, molesting men and wooing women.
Yeah. Yeah.
It's been a weird and wonderful time, I'll tell you that.
Yeah, really has.
I've
Oh.
learned much more about the world than I could have from many of my books, so...
And it's honestly been nice getting out and seeing people who aren't pieces of shit. There's a particularly
Getting out of your
poignant
comfort
hammer
zone.
blow at that point.
And getting out and seeing the world in less than warm places. And she sort of does a gesture to the weather.
Yeah, well, I guess it's better to get it out early and out of the way.
I mean... Yeah.
Yeah. Balthazar does tend to make a habit of never picking anywhere nice to go. And with that, she'll like actively breathe into her hand and rub them together. With like a little bit of flame coming off of them to heat herself back up.
I'm honestly surprised I spent this much time on land. The way a friend of mine once told is, seemed like a lot of sea travel.
I mean, depends on where you go.
Fair enough. That's
I
all
wouldn't
she
mind.
really talk about, so...
I wouldn't mind taking to the sea once more.
I've never been on the sea. What's it like?
If you do not hold your ground steady, you might, well, fall overboard. Or become seasick.
It's something to get used to for sure, but you spend long enough on a boat, you get a feel for it.
Or spend too long and you might become landsick once you take to port once more.
Huh.
That is an actual thing, by the way.
I'm sure it is.
No, I mean, seriously.
Yeah, I know. I know without a character, I'm being a shit.
I've seen one of the old captains set foot on the dock and his first instinct was to swave like a drunkard.
Well,
It
I
was-
imagine we'll get on sea someday. I mean, I took a ship over here, but back then it wasn't as enjoyable.
Well,
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you saw some interesting people though.
I kept mostly to myself, to be honest.
No, you keep it to yourself.
Perish the thought.
You will give Sao a nudge, like a firm one. Yeah, come on, quit giving me sass.
I'll give you all the sass I can because between just the three of us, you need to soften up a bit.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be nice to. A lot of times it's like harsh weather. You gotta harden yourself against it, otherwise the worst can happen.
I mean, you don't want to be too hard, or you might just snap.
I'm made of sterner stuff than that, no way I'm snapping.
That's what
So-
trees think, and then they snap in storm.
Sao just looks at him with just a sort of tilted head. And I've worked with metals too. Trust me. You're hard as fuck. You need to soften.
I'm sure I'll get there eventually. And also, you are picking up bad habits from Valve, I swear.
Am I? And she sort of looks to Nerold. Am I?
I don't notice anything.
Maybe I'm spending too much time around it.
I do know one thing. My sense of humor has grown a bit.
CD?
I mean, she's actually cracking jokes as opposed to when we first met, so...
Yes, I was a bit of a hard ass too back then. I do blame it on the trying to keep a low profile.
Yeah, doing that tends to mess with social life.
If I'm gonna be honest, it's been a good while since I've spent this much.
I noticed.
I mean, if you want, I can use some of this snow to just freeze your mouth in a smiling position. That could work. Then
Somehow,
you're
I-
always smiling.
nice idea.
And then you'll actually pull out her set. And like, kind of playfully poke at his cheek. Eh?
Come on, lay off, I'm trying to hammer here. But, yeah, it's not just this old trip. I mean, it's been a really long time before I even left. Memory's a funny thing, you know?
It is. Granted, people have funny things.
Yeah, and some are a lot nicer than I thought.
The world is a funny place. That much I've learned.
Does have a habit of being a joke, though.
If you want a joke, it's Balthazar's, able to resist a good offer.
What does that mean?
Yeah, I'm thinking maybe some of the lost in translation. My trade tongue ain't that strong.
And Sao switches over to Orcish. He usually doesn't say no to a good personal conversation, if you know what I mean.
Right, yeah. Now I get what you mean. You think you have a handle on something. Even now I'm missing out on some of the finer points of language.
You should see me when I started learning trade tongue. Learning trade tongue from other orcs is not, bad, but some words do get lost in translation a fair bit.
Oh
What
yeah.
are you talking about?
He was just looking at the both of you, just stumped.
No. He would have stayed. He would have stuck to trade tongue. He wouldn't have gone to Orcish. That's just rude. Yeah.
Oh. Okay.
Do say Nerold. You're
Yeah.
likely one of the more proficient of us in languages.
Indeed.
Do you have any trouble learning or speaking other tongues?
I mean, when I was first learning trade tongue, it was kind of weird just because my two native languages, as they're called, tend to be more grunts and hisses.
Right. A slight bit
So I
more
have to get
primal.
over the hurdle that is articulation.
Though I will say, just because I ain't strong with trade tongue doesn't mean I'm a slouch with languages.
Never said you wasn't.
But I picked up a lot. I even know a bit of serpent tongue if you remember.
I mean,
That is a bitch to fucking learn.
That's what the and she sort of snaps her fingers a few times. The snake people speak, right?
both
Yeah.
Nagas and Kobolds speak it, as you'll switch over to sounds that sound like hissing and stuff as she says something.
It almost sounds like parcel tongue.
Ah, why you gotta ruin it?
So yeah.
Yeah, it's I mean, especially for me because I bounced around with some languages. I haven't had enough time taking trade tongue, and when I got that handled, trying to pick up serpent tongue, well, I ain't fluent, but I had a good teacher.
Sao just looks confused at Nerold.
Nero's suddenly going.
What? I will switch back to common after saying the random thing. What?
That was mildly confusing to listen to.
Mm-hmm. That's serpent tongue. Try learning it when you're non-native.
Hey, at least you got the tongue for it. I not so much.
I'd rather try to learn demonic first.
There's something about it. It feels dirty talking it.
I feel dirty talking in trade tongue, but you don't see me arguing about it.
We could try to teach you Draconic.
Yeah, I could probably show you a few things.
Honestly, I'd be willing to just try and learn any new language, because I only speak two. Far.
Alright, Taoyun, I will be... From now on, I am your tutor in Draconic.
I'll try and toss you some demonic and serpent tongue. We'll make a thing of it.
Sounds like a good plan. At least better than a game of cards every night.
I mean,
Yeah, cards too much in one go is a bit much.
I was gonna say play a game maybe today or tomorrow? And then... Yeah.
Yeah.
Just because it's been forever since we've done anything social as a group.
You know, besides killing a dragon.
I said social.
Yeah, usually it's business and not a lot of pleasure. I mean, you know what I mean.
I mean, a few of us in the group do get a bit of pleasure. She sort of does a small eye roll and then just mouths the word Balthasar.
And Siren, don't forget when you were, in that brothel way back when.
Right.
Yeah, he'll go bragging too hard now. He does give a sort of wry smile, focusing back on his work.
Who says I'm bragging?
Come on, you two are hitched. There's no way you're not doing anything. And you don't have to try and be sensitive around me about it. We're all adults.
Sao just smiles.
And Neil's head
All
kind of
adults to
sinks
the
into her
still
armor.
technically underage kobold.
Get
Her
the
armor.
fuck word.
No, I think we both fixed that. Yeah, well, is
Yeah, we
is
I
not.
fixed that
think,
as soon
I think
as
it was like
that.
2 or 3 months because you wanted to switch it up. You made her a year older, but you're still like 2 or 3 months away. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Continue.
But yeah,
But
you
yeah.
don't have to play gentle touches around. We're all adults.
Eh,
How far are you with Will work? Just
I'll say by
No,
by
I know how far it is.
Yeah.
It's well, it's slow because it's a lot trickier. I'm adding some extra plating in the back here, so I got to set up a solid base. So it might take a couple days, that's for sure. If you're willing to lend me an hand, if you're not busy, then it might make the work go faster.
well, I'm not the busiest so far. We do plan on going to the arena to scout it out a bit ahead of time.
That's actually a pretty smart idea.
I mean, it sounds ideal, so
That is
Doesn't it?
definitely, yeah. Though, not like you couldn't have thought.
I mean, is it not common for people to scout a battlefield ahead of time to check for possible advantages or, limited room?
If I was raised somewhere else, maybe. But the only thing I've scouted out are market stalls.
same
thing.
kind of deal.
The principle is still the same. You try to gain an advantage ahead of time.
Yeah, in
Well,
your
worth
case,
checking out.
yeah. And I would kind of like to stop by the Hunter's Keep at some point.
Right, Mark.
Oh, you finally made your mind up.
Yeah. Might as well join, seeing as everyone else did.
There's no pressure on it, just...
Yeah. The resources would be nice.
Okay.
Having access to their workbenches certainly is a good benefit.
Mm-hmm. And plus I am still curious about Wolfie there. Like, do you think he was born like that? Or do you think he was, like, normal at one point?
Probably like that one bloke, what's his name? The one who was having us after that troll.
I do not think that would be the case. I do think he is...
You mean the ass who waited around for me to die and then swooped in for rescuing?
Yeah, that one.
I would call him an ass. I do think he was a bit running late. Trying to follow a vampire is one thing.
He was a giant wolf thing!
One can fly, one has to run through trees. But still.
Either way, yeah. You can get yourself sorted. We'll drink afterwards for it. Celebrate, you know?
Sounds like a good idea.
Okay.
You wanted to switch over, Janner?
I was just wondering, how long would this, for timescale reasons, how long would this
the
smithing take?
would take 4 hours from where they. So this would be assumedly during the course of it. So if you want to pan over to like Magna or something, or Siren, that's fine.
Well, I mean, Branka and Siren would still be both at this point. They would still be both during tutoring sessions on trade tongue.
Yeah. And I think we, at least I am kind of done with my things. I don't know if Siren is, but I'm at least done. I'm happy with what I'm done.
Yeah, because at this point, while Sayun, Nero, and Bellum have been talking, you're all still doing the sort of researching bit. So I'm just trying to keep track of various timescales here. Let's see.
Time zones are fun.
Yeah. Unless anyone has any objections, we can pan over to Magna and Balthazar while they're still talking, and then we'll have everyone kind of group up at some point during later in the afternoon. All right then.
Get some Magna time.
We rejoin.
Get your Mac on.
Rejoin Balthazar and Magna, having just finished their meal, their tales for full. I mean, by this time it's around. We'll say it's gone the afternoon at this point.
All right.
Okay, dope.
Afternoon has come round. I assume we finished our stay at the Golden Goose?
Yeah.
Alright.
Unless there is anything you wish to discuss.
Nope.
I don't think there's anything for us to really discuss. Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, nothing really. That was.
Well,
We've had our little lunch date. We discussed work.
Oh right, need to do at least my errands.
yeah,
you afterwards.
Oh yeah, we'll
wanted
take
to
care
do-
of your errands.
you wanted to do some errands, didn't you?
Yeah.
If you like, we can keep these brief.
Yeah,
Mhm.
we can do that.
That's definitely a good idea.
All right. So, what would you like to do?
Well, head over to a
room and fuck.
No,
That's later.
That's later. You don't do that in the middle of that. This is just a main course here.
This is not the
Dessert's
decent
after.
descent.
Exactly.
I mean, I'm fairly sure Balsar would still do it.
Just on the table.
Established dominance.
Be right back a second.
You see, I established dominance that hard.
Sorry for the fucking outburst. I could just hear it in the back of my mind, and then it just sort of.
What are you talking about? Not wrong.
It's okay. In the background, I'm hearing.
This fucking session has been great so far.
Yeah, really love it. Just nice to do
Downtime.
shit.
Like actual conversations.
Yes.
All right, I'm back.
So, what would I do?
That's okay. I was gonna head over to Enchanter for
An
my
enchanter.
yeah.
All right. So you would want the because you've spent plenty of time in Duunhollow. You know where this says. Probably one of the best enchanters around would be let's see. That would be Dumadar Sparkbeard
All right.
of who owns Runes and Rods, which is a magic shop. He also specializes in enchanting services.
Dr. Dumada.
Yeah, fucking damn it.
Stop.
Your own fault.
All right, so head over to. I am so bad with these. I just forgot it just now. Fuck.
Dumadar Sparkbeard of
fucking.
Runes and Rods.
All right, we'll go over there.
The dooba-da-doo-doo.
God damn it.
I will give you disadvantage on the next initiative check.
I can't keep his fucking straight face.
Okay, so
Okay.
head over there. What would you like to do?
All right. I was wondering, is it? Hold up. Oh. Is it possible to enchant my glaive?
Quite
Like,
possible, but it would be expensive and it would be time consuming.
yeah.
And it would
Fine with that.
it would effectively cost an amount of gold per day. Let me I got here. Let's see. Enchanting services are fairly expensive because you're trying to enchant. Well, depending on what type of enchantments you want, that will judge how many days. What are you trying to enchant your glaive with?
Basically, to shrink it and make it grow on command. Basically, like making it to the shaft into like almost like a hilt of a sword, and then when I speak command,
so like,
and carry around.
I see what you mean. Sort of like the Elven Prince's glaive from Hellboy and the Golden Army.
Yes.
Yeah. No, you were trying to give me that reference when you were creating Magna. Okay.
Yep.
So that'll be a fairly simple enchantment. It won't give you reach, because that'll be that'll be very expensive. Let's see. It'll be 40 gold per day of enchanting services. Let's see. It's not a +1, so. Oh wait.
I feel like it's just a magical way of saying, oh yeah, this weapon can be one-handed or two-handed.
Yeah. So effectively, you're trying to enchant it so it can be a versatile weapon, correct?
Pretty much yes.
But can't you? Is it normally a two-handed weapon, right?
Yeah.
You can use
can
it
use it
one-handed
one-handed
anyway
anyway
because you're a mountain folk.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's.
What are you trying to do?
Yeah, I need some clarification on this. Because
Are you making a gift?
What can't? So is this just a simple flavor thing?
Yeah, simple flavor thing basically.
Okay. So.
Nothing to affect battle.
Right. Okay. So for flavor, we can say that will take about. Just trying to calculate reasonable prices for this. So we'll say that'll take about 2 weeks of enchanting, and per day of 40 gold would be about 600 gold.
Okay.
So just mark off 600 gold for 2 weeks of solid enchanting.
All right.
Come back within 2 weeks. Duunhollow will have that for you.
Okay.
Bearing in mind this won't affect any statistics. Your glaive will effectively be, mechanically be the same glaive you had before, but with the added flavour of now you can on a command word extend the sort of pseudo glaive into a more extended glaive.
So akin to a common level enchantment.
If effectively, yeah.
Nice.
Alright. Mark it down. Alright. And
just remind me on that when it comes to 2 weeks in Game Pass, because I may have forgotten.
I'll put that down. Give me 1 second.
Alright.
I'll put down my notes.
I mean, if this is your last game, we'll see you. We can just assume you got it.
That's fair, actually. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just gonna give Deandra my notes anyway.
Yeah.
Since.
Speaking of that, Janner, when would the cloak be done? Would it be tomorrow in game time?
Oh, hang
2
on.
days?
I think I said last game. I've completely forgotten. I'll go through the VOD and kind of pinpoint that out, and I'll have that information to you next session.
Because I think you said 2 days, but I'm not remembering.
I'm not too sure on that either. I'll have to remember. I'll have to recall that in the VOD and note it down. My bad.
Yeah, it's okay. I was just wondering.
Yeah.
Because I assume that it'd still be time that he would have it for the.
Oh yeah. I believe that was established. So I just need these specifics. Anyway, Magna, what else did you want to do?
Oh, an appointment at the let me see if I can remember. Is the tattoo place?
Aha. You want to go to the Illustrated Woman?
Yep.
Ooh.
It's called hentai. It's art.
And it's an art.
That is in the same general area as Runes and Rods. It's a higher end shop. and you kind of make your way into the illustrated room. It's a very kind of small but well adorned establishment with you see an individual, kind of homely looking dwarven woman, probably in her mid-40s. Looks like this great mane of kind of orangish hair, and you can see from shoulder to wrist and across the kind of collarbone, she is covered in all manner of ornate sort of Celtic tattoos. And she says, "Can I help you, dear?"
Oh yes, I would like to keep my appointment and errand for a large dragon tattoo on my back.
Oh, very well. Do you want to take a look at our catalogue, see what manner of materials you want the dragon tattoo to be made of?
Yeah, sure. Give me 1 second, though.
But in all manner of various magical effects and magical inks you can probably make your dragon tattoo out of, unless you want it to be a mundane tattoo. That'll be a much cheaper option for you.
I'm gonna treat myself.
Alrighty.
Magical.
Kind of, hey, magical. Kind of points off to a small pile of kind of folded parchments off to the side. And you can see these are most likely the catalogues she's referring to.
All right.
We've got more to print off if you want to recommend any of your friends.
Could possibly. I'll make it. He looks about there. Does any of your other friends want to get a tattoo here? Probably later?
Maybe. It could be very interesting, to be honest. Some of us already have tattoos, like the orc. But I'm a bit interested.
No, help yourself.
Alright then.
While Magna gets her shit done, I'm gonna browse the catalog.
Alright then.
I'm sure there is some well illustrated placements.
So
Yeah.
this is a vast list of what you can see to be numerous tattoos,
Holy fuck, bro.
numerous effects, many of which are very pricey.
Stop.
Ooh.
Chill your tattoo boner.
Holy fuck, my dude.
I wonder if one of us to visit this.
Next thing you know, the twins are just walking around in tattoos. Janet's got a new fetish.
Ooh, I do like that prismatic color.
No?
Ink. Oh my god.
You can't hear this very well, but I'm rubbing my hands because this is right up Sal's alley.
Delicious.
Holy
So
fuck.
there are from I will say mechanically you can get a tattoo, one in each location. There are, say for example, arm slots, head slots, as you were, anywhere slots, that sort of thing, chest slots.
Let's see here.
So have a read of that, and yeah, that's there for all of you to read between sessions if you choose to grab a tattoo.
Oh my.
Meanwhile, we're all just completely silent reading.
Yeah, yeah.
It's
Oh, like, holy shit.
huge amount. Tatao.
I'm definitely thinking about between either the prismatic ink or the shifting ink.
Looking mood ink.
Cover entire ink, body in ink.
That's not good for you. That's not good for you.
It's like
just the
being
mark
a
of the
chameleon, but
dragon.
only for your feels.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't even read through
Yeah,
this.
but I'd stick with the prismatic ink.
So.
Let me see.
Shit.
Prismatic ink.
I feel like this is a
swirling
between-
mass of rainbow colours while in a bottle. This ink causes lines tattooed with it become beautiful and iridescent in appearance. Okay. Let's see. Wait, mundane tattoo. We'll just say that's we'll say that 1d6 plus 2 hours. Whereabouts would you like this?
On her back.
Alrighty.
Basically. Like,
Right, I can do that for you, dearie. That'll take about 6 hours. So, get in comfy. We're in for a long day.
no rush, no rush. We have a evening errand to finish after this.
Okay. With that, she kind of brings out from the back what looks like this enormous looking contraption of various brass instruments kind of wheeled on these tiny little brass wheels. Kind of, she seems to flip a switch and it kind of begins to move in a way you only imagine that Sao Yun would get some form of, well, Sao Yun would probably drool over. She kind of takes out what looks like this long kind of bulky looking pen-like implement, and it seems to spark with this sort of brief electrical surge, and the tip begins to sort of vibrate a bit. Right, settle down. I need to see your back. You settle down for the afternoon to do this. The sort of cylinders and sort of glass cylinders begin to swirl with this sort of iridescent, beautiful looking ink. It kind of courses through the tubing towards the pen. She begins to elegantly draw this beautiful looking dragon tattoo over your back throughout the next 6 hours. Balthazar, what are you doing as this happens?
I'm gonna be... I said I'd be with her for this, so I'm gonna be examining this list of tattoos, and I'm gonna be thinking... I'm also gonna test my earring and see who's in reach.
No one is within reach, actually.
Damn.
I believe.
Well, that's that.
Yep. Alrighty. So I'll say, let's see. Nerul, Sao Yun, and Vellum, you wanted to go visit the ring, yeah?
Yes.
Yeah.
I think on the way we wanted to stop off at the hunter's place.
Right, since it's on the way.
And
Yeah.
I will pick you. I'm just trying to organise all the dots here. Magna.
Just as a side note, Janet, once we wrapped up the session, I'd like to know what document you found for all of this shit.
DM secret, I'm afraid.
No, I mean, really, I want to suggest this for another server I'm on, because this is way better than what we already have.
Okay. We'll get to that. So you make your way to the Hunter's Keep. What would you like to do while you're at the Hunter's Keep? As you make your way through the massive 2 iron doors, into the main foyer area, the massive hall.
I would like to find, what was he called? The Master of the Hunt?
Okay. So you make your way up to the up through the back of the stairs. The large kind of the two large spiral stairs that kind of curve around the front desk, with the massive skull of Malinis, kind of looming above. Make your way up to the back chambers, the main antechamber, and kind of knock on the massive 2 front doors. There's a moment of silence. You hear.
Enter.
Neil will push the door open and peek in. Hi.
You see before you Rathgar once again, kind of in his kind of ceremonial plate mail, kind of large, massive, kind of long sword off to the side, and he seems to be writing down on a few papers with a quill and inkwell.
What can I do for you, little one?
If now's a bad time, I can come back later, but, I've made up my mind.
Kind of gives you a regarding nod, silently stands up, walks over to his large, great sword.
Very well. Shall we begin?
Neil will nod and step into the room.
Kind of silent, kind of tiny claws clacking across the, clacking nervously along the mahogany floorboards towards the large fireplace in front of the large desk. Rathgar takes his long sword, kind of seems to slide it in to a notch between a couple of bookcases, and cranks it. The enormous fireplace kind of shifts around 90 degrees and looks to both Vellum and Zaoyun.
Both of you have already taken the oath. You need not attend, if you wish.
I'll stay back unless Nero would like someone to come with.
Yeah, likewise.
I would, just because. Social activity.
There we are then.
Though I will most likely stay much in the background for the time.
Very well.
Drag you back over to Rathgar kind of takes all three of you down the spiral staircase, the long, arduous journey. You gather at this point probably around 100 feet down, and you make your way through the central staircase into the large inner sanctum. Church-like in appearance, it is as impressive second time around as it was the first. You see the large central burning brazier, blue light in the right bang in the center of this octagonal chamber. I'm gonna all this. How about this? Give me a second.
So, young pup, Nero. I would ask you to take the oath of the hunt.
Alright.
Repeat after me. In memory of those that stand against the tides of dark.
In memory of those who stand against the tides of dark.
For the thrill of the hunt is unending.
For the
And their
thrill of the hunt.
And their blades will be ever sharp.
For the thrill of the hunt is unending, and their blades will ever be sharp.
For when the monsters prey upon the innocent, we prey upon them.
For when monsters prey upon the innocent, we prey upon them.
And raise the layers from which they stem.
And raise the layers from which they stem.
We are the man, the woman, and the child.
We are the man, the woman, and the child.
From which monsters took so much and left us defiled.
From which monsters took so much and left us defiled.
We slave for those that cannot fight.
We slave for those who cannot fight.
To bring hope for tomorrow's light.
To bring hope for tomorrow's light.
Ears to the ground.
Ears to the ground.
Eyes to the skies.
Eyes to the skies.
Hunt well.
Hunt well.
Now, you may pass through fire.
And with
After
that,
taking a deep breath, Neil will do as he says and step through.
okay. You begin to step through the fire, and with each step, coals feel as though they may send your feet, but it's merely warm to the touch. And with each step, you watch beneath your tiny little kobold feet, your clawed toes. The coals themselves begin to almost crystallize beneath your feet with each daunting step. Almost like bismuth crystals curling around your toes. It's a sight only to you, see. It's familiar. With each step, you nervously regard it and stand within the fire, letting the flames lick around your form. You feel a sudden warmth curl across your arm. And as you look down your shoulder, there you see, emblazoned, an iridescent blue shimmer, the mark of the hunt.
Yay.
You re-emerge from the flames, the blue embers kind of licking across your armor. As you re-emerge, a fully fledged member of the Hunter's Keep.
Huh. That was weird.
You are now a member of the Keep, Little Pop. You have access to our board and lodge, our various stations of work, our tannery, our combat arena. You have also access to our various contracts. Whether you take those is up to you.
Alright then.
And know this. With the release of Elizabeth von Dragul, we may call upon you to help us right the mistakes you may have made.
Yeah.
We put no blame upon you. Elizabeth is deceptive. She is a master of trickery. In truth, it was inevitable that she be released, that you prey upon the naivety of someone so innocent as you. In truth, perhaps we should have seen this coming.
Looks to you.
Did you, by any chance, happen to see something weird happen when I was in the fire?
Not that I saw, no. Why?
Because when I was walking on the coals, they, at least to me, kind of seemed to crystallize.
Kind of regards you for a moment. Confusion.
Curious. Perhaps the wild spirits might have taken kindly to you. That I cannot say. They work in mysterious ways.
Alright. anything else that
Believe-
has to be done? Or...
That is the completion of your initiation. How you utilize the Hunter's Keep and its services is up to you. Just know that you are now part of our family, and we put our trust in you.
Alright. I'll keep that in mind. But not to sound rude, but we should probably be off now.
Of course.
We're planning on checking out the arena.
Are you attending the trial?
We are.
And I wish the best of luck to you.
Thanks.
Kind of gestures and sees you off. He begins to kind of lock up the inner sanctum behind you, and follow you up. You are left to your own devices.
To the arena!
Okay.
To the arena!
You make your way out into the thoroughfare of making your way towards the Bronze Quarter, which the arena itself is it's very hard to miss in the Bronze Quarter. Give us some ambience.
Just as a quick heads
I know,
up.
time. Yep.
No, it's not that. It might be better if we take the arena thing next time. Just so we can focus a bit more on the others for the ending note.
Besides, I imagine you want to make it a whole spectacle thing, so it's a good idea to maybe save that for next time.
If you so choose, we can do that.
I feel that would be best.
Okay, fair enough. So, shall we... I believe you wanted... Shall we send off Magna?
Yes.
Okay.
How about
Yeah.
that, Dragon? Or Spice?
So,
What do you actually prefer to be called?
Spice.
Spice.
alright. So,
Spicy.
Balthazar and Magna, what are you two doing?
Well,
She's getting a tattoo, isn't she?
Well, yeah,
Yeah.
that's true. So, I'll say, by the time this is all done and finished, it's gotten to, let's see, it's gotten to the evening time for now, around, I'll say around 7ish. It's hard to tell while they're in Dorgan Underground City, but nevertheless, you are acclimatized to time within Duunhollow, Magna. And by the time this is finished, you have a glorious-looking draconic tattoo tattooed across your back. The wings almost seem to wrap around your shoulders towards your collarbone.
neat. I like this very much. Megan will give the lady at least 20 platinum more tip.
Roscoe and says, "Well, thank you, dear. We need not to be. Well, I mean, I'm not going to say no. All right. Just tell your friends."
Oh, I must certainly do. Thank you very much.
She just seems baffled and flabbergasted by this the massive sum of gold for such a non-magical tattoo. But regardless, she has no objections, and you are left to your own devices.
Alright then. That would
She
be
used to
all.
set up another shop with that gold. That platinum.
You know, Balthazar is holding up the catalog and looking at something. I'm looking at your tattoos here. Is it the 1, 2, 3, fourth one down?
Let's see. Oh. The Aya True site, eh?
Are you able to do the permanent version?
Well, I don't have the plans for that, really. See, magical tattoos is a very rare profession. Normally, any such permanent tattoos any recipes for them, any copies of them. There aren't many that are left in history. It's an old profession, you see. Back from the days when, back from the earliest days of the establishment of Duunhollow and establishment of runecrafting as a profession, and the migration of that aspects of that profession onto flesh. Rumor has it there are copies of such tattoos that exist, but none have been found so far. I mean, if you come across one, I'd be more than happy to add it to my repertoire.
So let's say, if a famous band of adventurers was to come across this blueprint and generously donate it to their favorite establishment, as he kind of looks at her, eyes are up and down, would it be possible then to have a sample of that work?
Well, considering the service this so-called band of adventurers would provide me, I could sell them for them at half the cost.
Thinks about it. That might not be too bad of a deal.
That band of adventurers wouldn't happen to be you, would it? Kind of gives you a wink.
We may just have to find out. But I do have a question.
Aye.
That would go on the head. But as you can see, as he taps his horns, it might be a slight difficulty.
Well, with the nature of magical ink, you see, kind of points back to the contraption with the large kind of the large sort of jar-like glass tube of this iridescent ink she's just been working on Magna with. It takes to any surface really, as long as it's on a creature.
Then do you think you could apply that tattoo here, as you'll touch his little center growth between his brows?
The pseudo eye.
I can probably do something like that, aye.
I wonder, is it possible, say if I had the lesser version of that tattoo now, if I found its greater plan, would you be able to add to it?
Could possibly add to it. Might be a bit complicated trying to rework an already existing tattoo into to a greater version of itself.
I saw you had a minor and a major version of other tattoos.
Aye.
I did not know if they were simply the same pattern but more complex.
It's the same pattern but more complex, but I can definitely try to add to an existing tattoo. It would still be half the cost if you are providing the plans.
Then I believe I should have to bring a few friends over here. I know an orc that would very much love your work.
Oh, this establishment aims to please the very best and only the most wealthy. There's a wry smirk as she says this.
Well, we just got paid quite well for a hunter's keep contract.
Oh, you're
So
members
I'm
of the
sure
keep.
She shall have the funds. Yes. With that, he'll pull up his sleeve, reveal his arm tattoo.
It does the same.
Or brand, mark, whatever it is.
Tell you what, if you provide me with, shall we say, that blueprint, if you're a member of the keep, I can shed a couple hundred gold off. After all, I've done a few tattoos for the Hunters Keep and the Hunters before. I can only be thankful for the service they provide around Mayland.
Ah, but you can only be so generous too. You have a business to run, after all.
That I do.
Well, I shall go tell my friend of your business. You don't have a copy of this catalog, do you?
Oh, I've got plenty. Kind of gestures over to a small pile of catalogues off to the side. There's a new thing called a printing press. It's new dwarven invention, you see. I've been taking full advantage on it.
Well, then I shall have to take one of these and bring it to my orc friend. She has a love for ink, it seems.
Oh, I look forward to having her business. Just make sure that if you plan on bringing some of your friends, make sure to do it soon. It's around this time of the year that the clientele expands, shall we say?
Well, with Winter's Feast coming up, I'm sure it will be a literal expansion.
Aye, that and the tournament coming up. Lots of people are wanting that extra bit of edge.
Ah, yes. I do not feel we will need it for our turn in the tournament, but nonetheless, I should be off.
Very well.
Yes?
Well, come back again soon.
I most certainly will.
And with that, you leave the illustrated woman. She returns around back to the rest of her work. What else would you like to do?
Return to the can't where the Balthazar's
Is it, the Golden Lodge or the Hunter's Keep?
Yeah, the Golden Lodge.
Okay. And back to the inn.
Well then, I could say our night at the town was interesting.
It was, eventful, to say the least.
And profitable on your end. Or mutual parties, you might say.
It will be. It will be. But we should not be too distracted with work.
No. Pain before pleasure, but are we? I don't like to keep things waiting. He just gives the wry smirk.
You smirk indeed. Well, we have business to attend to, I believe.
Indeed.
Perhaps private quarters could be more accommodating.
I assume so. Show me to your room, please.
Alright, fade to black. So,
wave at Siren on the way past if she's here.
Well, by this time, I'm guessing that everyone's completed their daily their stuff, their routines, the things they wanted. The things they wanted to do.
Say that the arena thing happened earlier.
Well, quick on that.
Or is it guarded off because nobody is allowed in due to unfair advantages?
Somewhat guarded, but you do get a good look at the outside. Do you kind of make your way through the bustling streets within the Bronze Quarter? You see what appears to be this kind of massive octagonal structure. This presumably is let's see here. So, this presumably is the Ring of Steel. This massive octagonal structure. It's a stone stadium of immaculate dwarven design. Arches trimmed with emerald and jade designs, and intricate stonemasonry decorate its exterior. And you see atop the 8 corners of this stadium are 8 tall columns of stone, kind of tipped with large glowing yellow crystals. 4 of its 8 sides are built as massive kind of arched stone entranceways to the ring, each flanked by 2 huge statues of Dune, with a large, eternally burning brazier in front. You don't see what the inside looks like, as the exterior is sort of guarded with a dwarven iron guard. But that's what you can see. From estimating the size of the ring, let's see here. I actually have a map of it. I can actually measure it. Approximately 300 feet in diameter. It's a pretty sizable arena.
I'd wager so.
It does extend up for about 50 to 60 feet.
Nice.
Big.
Pretty big.
Makes you wonder what we're going to have to find that's so big that they need this tall wall.
I do think this is mostly for seating areas, as well as keeping the audience on a safe distance from creatures.
Probably.
This is arena built for spectacle and show, not actual permanent fighting precedent. So,
Out of character, am I supposed to see a map?
Nope. I'm not really.
Okay,
I'm
good.
not revealing that just yet.
Okay, good.
I'd be pissed if you did.
Yeah. Just hearing people talking about the map, and it's like, okay, well, is this real? Not the arena. Anyway. Well, we'll be in it soon enough.
Yep.
Okay. Is everyone going to return back to the Golden Lodge?
Yeah.
All right. And with that, you all return, meeting back up in the lodge. Balthazar and Magna seem absent, though the door to Balthazar's room is closed and presumably locked. And you make the connection, and probably best not to disturb that.
Likely being casted silence in there as well, just for safety. Or, I'm guessing Balthazar's too proud.
I think these places are probably fucking sound. Anyway. Well, that's probably gonna be annoying.
I wonder if Magna remembers the safe word that Balthazar generally.
The less I know about that, the better, thanks.
Why
Safe
do you
word.
even recall that?
How would you even know that?
Because she's heard Balthazar shout.
Up to the ear.
Heard about their shouting what? And when?
During the time of the original Black Hand when we lived in tents. Those things aren't very soundproof, you know.
Interesting.
Oh my god.
Well, I hope these things are. I may go somewhere else if that's the case.
I duly doubt that anything but stone walls would be, you know, proof enough against that. You could likely murder somebody inside one of these rooms and the screaming would be heard.
Game sorry, please.
I'm joking, by the way, on that point.
So am I, mostly.
Seeing as Balthasar is likely busy, either sleeping or otherwise, I do think this would be a good time to call for a rest. Don't you say? That we actually have time to sleep at, a decent hour.
Yeah. Today kind of took more out of me than I thought.
All
We'll
right.
celebrate tomorrow. How's that, Nero?
I was gonna say, while the two are talking, Neil's going to gently wrap her tail around Sal's hand and kind of like pull her towards the bedroom.
Yes, I know you're tired. Just give me a minute.
Okay, I'll go make the bed.
Okay.
And she'll head off to the room.
For someone so small, she's always so energetic at times.
Yeah, they get like that. I mean, obviously not sounding prejudice or anything, but yeah, from what I know, they do.
Sa just gives him a slight raised, teasing brow.
You don't know everything about me.
That for the most part, I can read you like a book.
Yeah, well, there's a lot more you gotta find. He does give a retort of a teased smile.
Same thing about me, but people have their secrets.
Yeah, we'll get there.
Agreed. Now, you've been up working most of the day, so I'm guessing your arms are pretty tired.
Well, I'm fine mostly, but I imagine you've got a missus to get back to.
I'll deal with that part. Now, see you in the morning.
Yep, see you in the morning.
All right.
You know where I am if you need me. He'll head to his door.
Okay. Siren, is there anything
Night, Siren.
Anything
Good
you'd
night,
like?
Vellum. Good night, Sal. And Siren, upon having seen Balthazar go into his room with Magna, is like, since everyone's gone, she's gonna look at it, like smile, shake her head. It's like it's about time he took care of that. And then she is going to go out and
Hire a hooker for the night.
she is going to go to the Hunter's Keep.
Okay.
And she is going to spend the night there.
Okay.
Oh yeah, because the only option she has is either bunking with Grunker, bunking with Vellum, or somewhere else. Gee,
Or-
no surprise.
Was I able to hear people when they entered the?
These
I do
walls
think
are
you're a bit
these
busy.
Well,
These-
they soundproofed.
these walls and the doors are solid. You can hear nothing.
That's
Damn.
dangerous.
High-end place.
Solid stone, man.
Oh man.
Hugh.
Shit.
What?
My plan.
What?
You have a fucking earring, bruh.
yeah.
But how would I know?
What was your plan? To just moan at everyone? What the fuck?
No. No.
He was moaning.
Just
this
remember,
loud.
I'm not the one that chases the mountain ladies.
Oh, you're trying to stick it to Siren. Oh, I see. You're playing the jealousy game.
No.
Well, maybe a
I-
little.
I'm playing the wingman.
The wingman game. Fucking.
Well,
stay
What, you're
woke.
gonna try to hook her up with Liska?
Well, I tried, but Liska apparently hates us.
She hates
Can't
you.
imagine why.
She hates you. She just actually never met Siren. Like, just
Well,
in
she
passing.
never really met Siren, but if I said, "Hey, you want to come hang out with me and my friend?" she'd be like, "With you? You
I
wouldn't
mean,
even
you
trust
can
my
you
friend."
can probably I'd probably suggest doing it the other way around. Be like, hey, Saren, go see if you can like hook up with Liska, and she might try to do that.
You got
Are you
near
saying
it.
I should go tell you to fuck yourself?
I was resisting the urge to say that.
Please do.
I think it's masturbation, maybe.
I'm not gonna
It's
lie.
not a circle jerk if it's yourself.
Hey,
Today's
sorry,
session has
go
been
fuck yourself.
fucking
Only
great
if
in
you
terms of
watch.
fucking banter.
Well, little earring messages will go out regardless, but whatever.
How to establish dominance. Full blast earring moan.
And he moaned at least this loud. Ah!
Okay, so Siren's going to spend the night at the Hunter's Keep. And is there anything Grunk would like to do before he rests?
Well, while he's under the bed, because he sleeps under the bed
That's fair.
on the floor, he is probably gonna take out Shiny and may have a look and see if we can see any of the orange bullshit that you put in it.
Orange bullshit I put in it. Is
Best explanation I've seen from a goblin about a magic thing.
Yeah.
Orange bullshit.
You don't see any. You don't immediately see any sort of orange. Any sort of orange light from your small gem there. Not yet. Not right now.
He's gonna look at it for a little while longer, and then he's gonna just try and sleep while having it clutched in his hand.
Okay. You all come to rest for the evening. Another day passes.
Some of us later than others.
Indeed.
You.
But thankfully you hear nothing. We'll end it there.
Yay. Almost on time.
That was the best fun session I had.
Fucking
I feel like we
real.
didn't give you enough attention.
We may or may not have gotten a bit carried away at certain points to take away from your spotlight, Spice, but today was good.
It
Good
was.
day.
How do you feel, Spice?
Fucking ecstatic. I got everything I wanted done in this session, in the couple of sessions I was with you guys. And maybe you might meet me again. Who knows?
When he comes
Who
back,
knows? You have to
Balthazar, you're the father.
Yeah,
Oh,
That's actually
no.
a question I wanted to ask Jenner.
Yep.
Since all of the demonic people more or less stems from the angelic races, can they interbreed?
You don't know.
You'll have to find out.
Ooh,
Sure.
oh, no.
I'm sure the parties involved know, but you don't.
Hey,
It's
I'm
a
just
mystery.
asking.
Yeah, Jenny, when are we gonna see some ink mountain folks?
Stab.
fucking stop.
Like Mountain Folk Dad, Imp Mother.
Just blast it in.
So dead? Like I don't.
Dead on arrival, yeah.
No, don't do that. Don't do that.
For
Don't.
many reasons.
But what if it was the other way around?
Just one very
Oh.
brave imp.
Very unsatisfying.
Mountain folk MILF going ala at a fucking imp.
Welp.
Bad Grunka.
So that's But yeah, good, nice session. It was good not to fucking
Yeah.
be thrust into action and just have conversations.
As it
It's
says,
nice
it's
to
downtime.
be able to build character.
Downtime in
Social
Duunhollow.
activity!
Yeah, because I've fucking been trying to get some juicy Neural backstory fucking ever.
Oh, she'll be juicy, alright.
God damn it.
You've been fucking horrible today, Doug.
I mean,
You might as well
fucking
session
degeneracy in you, man.
head in hand. Just goddamn
session 69, of course. I mean, it's
Oh,
about to happen.
that's
Oh, yeah.
ironic.
Session 69.
Yeah.
This is the one where you bang your guest away.
Hell of
I
a
mean, you
set,
did.
though. Yeah.
You did do a bang up job, Spice.
Bang up job indeed, buddy.
Bang.
I went out with a bang, indeed.
So much.
I will say, in terms of the
You
whole,
handled yourself really well when you were thrust into a new group.
all right,
Your
but-
skill was not put to waste.
But in all seriousness, in terms of the whole guest character thing, I'm loving the fact that we actually have characters come in and affect the story in large ways without it being, you know, oh yeah, here's Goody Shoe MacGuffin to help you. No, these are actual characters with flaws and personalities. First, Glim, which was admittedly a bit sort of rushed since it was the first one.
And yet,
But-
strangely stuck around a really long time.
Indeed.
But yeah,
In NPC form, yeah.
he also was there to lend a certain personality to the area, much like with Magna and Liska, granted, for Duunhollow.
Yeah.
There's memorable personnel
I think the
now.
best way is, yeah. I have to support you on that. I think the best thing about guests, and that's something that should really be emphasized, is first off, let the players know ahead when that's going to be happening. So that way, if we have plans that don't accommodate for guests, we can either resolve them or postpone them. Because that's really important. Your players being informed is really important when it comes to meta knowledge, like who's going to be at the table. And then, of course, it also comes to things like, you know, it grows the world, and it makes things feel more lived in, and it pushes not necessarily just the story, but the lore and the feeling of the world in a more believable direction. And I think that's really good. Spices it up.
Yeah.
No pun intended.
Yeah.
Little
More
pun
ways
intended.
than one.
But honestly, it was good having you.
Down.
And while the formula is probably going to need refining, it still came out as a positive.
Yeah.
And I
All
like
right.
the idea that our guests stay as like persistent NPCs. Maybe not always around us, but it's not like they're suddenly not in the world anymore.
Yeah.
I'm sure Liska's going to come back with fucking beef eventually, but that's a future problem. Future Balthazar.
That is a problem for my pelvis later.
Uh,
Not in the
Balthazar's,
Liska,
pleasant way.
Balthazar's
I'm
going
just
to be
Yes,
bedridden
your
for
pelvis when
days.
she created the scrotum.
Yes. You see, that's why you have the cod piece.
I'm just having a moment.
I learned my lesson.
I'm having a moment right now where I'm imagining Liska and Magna showing up at a later time further down this campaign,
Oh, yeah.
and Liska's just angrily looking at Balthazar with this intent of death, and Magna's sort of holding something, and then Balthazar suddenly gets told by Liska, "You knocked up my hunting partner. Go fuck yourself."
I see what
If you
Avon's doing
want.
there
Oh no,
with the
that's
rolls.
a question nobody wants the answer to.
Good,
Is
but
he
you
because he
Don't
got
worry
one
about
of the
it.
rings?
Don't worry about it.
Regardless, that was just me having a fucking moment of, you know.
Oh,
I see
Oh,
Sarah.
you know
I
how
think-
you resolve that problem? Balthazar reaches into a pocket, pulls out the ring of breathless invisibility, and yeets away.
Balthazar the
Fucking
dead.
Ollie Outie.
Balthazar the deadbeat father.
Oh, it looks nothing like me. It's been chanting incantations for days.
Has a little black
And
hand.
it could be any baby.
Guys. Rolling in chat, I see Saren's putting the moves on Liska.
Hey.
Hey.
Fucking damn it.
Hey.
And now both of them need to roll Constitution.
I mean, was it performance?
Legendary
saving
Who remembers
throws.
that old bit?
Performance checks.
This is why when you make a rogue, you have expertise in performance.
Oh
I
no.
think that's more a
I thought that
bard
was Bard.
shtick, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
Okay,
No.
I'm gonna
Because
stop
if you
recording
have
here as well.
expertise in both sleight of hand and performance, then suddenly you have magic fingers.
And with that,
Or
I'm gonna
just
end
be
recording.